Hi, everybody.
Woo.
Hello.
Hello.
Our Mitra opening didn't go. Bear with us. And we're back.
Again.
For real this
Hi,
time.
everybody.
And again.
Hello.
Hi.
That was fire.
That's
very
such
good.
a good. Every time
Yeah,
I hear it, it's just like, excellent.
Amazing.
So how are we all feeling?
Alive.
So good.
Zesting for life.
Oh my god.
I love this for us so much.
Also, for anyone who isn't in the cast, we have been together since 6 p.m. So it's been a long evening of stuff.
Hanging out.
Just hanging.
Having a good time.
The cocktail.
Yeah.
Ryan's
everyone
drinking
takes a drink.
leftover wedding champagne.
Yes, I am.
I'm just going with water.
Respect.
I have a liquid IV.
That's also very
Ooh.
hydrating.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Are we all sharing what we're drinking? 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
having
sure,
a
sure, let's
water
do it, yeah.
And a little bit of like cola.
Nice. And Alex, what you're having?
This is grapefruit syrup and rum.
Were you having an espresso martini, or did I make that up?
You
were.
I've
Oh.
blasted through that.
He's like,
This
"Oh,
martini
nice."
is gone, long gone.
That martini's in the past.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm drinking a gin and whiskey. So.
Gin and whiskey?
Gin and whiskey?
Ginger,
Wow.
ginger beer and
Going hard.
whiskey, or maybe it's just gin and whiskey, and
On a tough day?
I have no taste
Never
buds.
gonna know.
No taste buds.
Tough year.
That would taste so good.
Gross.
He's so good.
I can't even. Honestly, I don't even want to imagine it. Oh,
Actually, if you add a couple more things, then
No.
you basically have like a Long Island,
Long
right?
Island iced
Like
tea.
a
Yeah.
jungle, yeah.
yeah. Fair. Oh goodness. Well, we're all here. I have an actual summary of what happened last week, which is incredible. Let's dive in. Yeah, air horns indeed.
Thank you, Ryan, for writing up a
Yeah,
summary of what
seriously.
happened
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, thank you.
Because
Yeah.
as we found out earlier, between all of us, Ryan takes wonderful notes.
Katie,
Like
would you like
pages
to-
and no, I don't want to
Would you
read my
like to-
notes.
does
I
somebody
don't want to
else-
read
does
my
somebody-
notes.
Would somebody like
There's
to?
color coding.
That is we believe. I can't see it, but I believe it.
You believe me. You believe
Yes.
me.
Does someone want to do a dramatic reading of Katie's notes?
No,
before
we said we're
dive
gonna do it on
into
the
this?
talk back. Leave it alone.
Okay, fine.
I mean, I think we could do it twice.
we could probably do
No.
it twice. It doesn't take that long.
No.
To do it twice as a treat.
Yeah.
I'm not reading them.
And if we do it 3 times, it's comedy. So
I don't even have them open anymore.
I got
It
it. Okay,
offended me.
um,
I closed them.
Ben, do you want to do it?
Sure.
I just need everyone to know these are my notes.
I am more than willing to do it also.
I'm
also.
gonna do this as
Well,
Jeffrey.
you know what? Why don't we do it like in grade school where we all take turns reading?
Yeah.
Popcorn.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
a little
yes.
popcorn reading.
Yes.
So no one
enough
was overburdened with reading
The anxiety of
dense,
popcorn reading.
thorough notes.
You know what I think I can say is that none of us would feel much anxiety reading any of this because it's like five words.
These are not just my notes for last week, to be clear. These are my notes for the entirety
Campaign
of all of
notes.
the
Yes.
These 5 lines represent
The
about a
entire
dozen
campaign.
hours at this point.
Who wants to start? Do you guys? I'll start.
Yeah.
I'll take line number 1.
Yeah.
Foodville dash Advil.
I'll take line number 2. Abyssal parentheses black Drake, comma Vincent.
I'll do line 3. Jeffrey, the Bronze Dragon.
I'm on 4. Terrence, cute, dumb, bugbear, and Jimmy, greaser.
And finally, seal. 2 snakes intertwined around a dagger.
All right.
Oh,
And those are my notes.
So now that we're all caught up with the campaign,
We're all caught up. Yeah.
It's all you need to know.
That's-
Let's
that's-
go. What are we doing today, DM?
All right, why don't you use Ryan's actually good notes?
So.
I think those notes are art. I'm sorry. You can
They
you
are.
can hate me
Please
for
keep
it. They're
taking
Found
art.
poetry. Come on.
We should put them on a t-shirt.
Just.
Note taking is a skill
I
that
would wear
is
that.
developed. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Ryan has
no.
a skill.
Ads made you miss the opening. It's
Okay,
alright.
they were just making fun of the fact that I
We-
can't take notes.
Yeah.
They were
Katie-
just going to go into an actual recap of what happened last week.
Yes. So last week on Mitra, who knows? We opened having just rolled initiative at the end of the previous session. Patchwork and Azad were inside a tent with the baddies. Rev was outside with Jimmy having a wonderful date. I'm adding that little bit there at the end. That was not initially part of the notes. Billion had just released all of the animals. Korna is a small lizard firework, and Alistar is ... distracting ? After a long fight where a large snake tried to eat Jimmy, Patchwork mind controlled a half ogre. Alistar, don't start ish. Longstrider snags a fleeing bandit, and Korna solves the mystery of the missing keys. Team name TBD. It's true. That is a thing at some point that has to happen. Wins the day, or at least this particular fight. They still have a mind-controlled half ogre, a new bugbear friend who doesn't want to fight, and a drake in a cage with no lock. The crew decided to just take the entire cage with them, which was an interesting choice. I have to say, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna okay, sure, yeah, okay, all right." And woke Jeffrey up to meet them at one of the gates with the car. It'll totally fit, don't worry. It did totally fit, and no one
I'm
was
funny.
After meeting back up with Giovanni, they managed to free the Drake after using a spell pulled from a baddie's pocket, and Jeffrey taught said Drake to become a very, very, very pretty elven man named Vincent. While Giovanni tells him about the seal on the letters they found and how it keeps popping up in unpleasant places, Corny takes the mystery of the stabby snakes. Undertakes. I apologize. Our ending for the evening was Rev teaching Vincent how to eat Oreos in the kitchen, while the rest of the team gathered snacks to feed the hungry Drake and hopefully to begin figuring out what is going on. Yes. So, unless there's anything that you guys would like to do that evening as you are eating Oreos, and I assume probably a couple of you flirting with a very attractive elven man.
I was gonna say, I definitely chat to Vincent.
You okay, Katie?
You got something in your throat?
No, I'm good.
We
Not
got
yet.
drinks. We got drinks for that.
Whammy!
that?
I'm not gonna sip my water.
Yes, we're all like, "Ooh." Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know if I'm old enough to be on this stream. All
Your
right.
mustache isn't. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Shade.
I'm gonna make your mustache an emote at some point.
Oh my god,
God.
please.
I'll let it grow out for a couple weeks first.
Okay, and we'll like
Yeah.
screenshot it. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll just be it'd be like, is it
Photoshop
there?
the
Is it not?
mustache off of Ben's face.
Yeah, that's it.
Iconic.
Or
Yeah,
something.
I don't want like a
What a-
generic
Right.
mustache emote. I want Ben's whatever.
Well, I think we need to hold until Ben has a very like quippy catchphrase that we can sort of like put in bake into the
over
neck
top of the mustache.
of the
Yeah.
mustache. I'm just
Mm.
saying, workshop
work with
it,
that.
GM.
Okay.
Get on it.
So the pressure is on now. I have to have a quick and quippy response to all things.
Just
I feel like
practice
my
what
I
you're
feel like
talking about.
my response to everything is not with that attitude, but I
That's
haven't
true.
used that on you guys yet. So
Yeah.
all right. Well,
It's
we'll
because
work
we
on
have
that.
so much attitude.
You do have a lot of attitude. That's fair.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
Continuing.
yeah. So obviously we've got some late evening chats that happen. But I want to put this question to the group, and I think that Giovanni is probably the person to do it. While sitting around eating these cookies, is like, so I guess I got a question for you guys at this point. Like, what, what's your plan? Are you thinking that you want to figure out, the seal? Like, I'm kind of curious. Like, how can I help you? Because I've got stuff that I can do. I know some guys. So where are you guys? Where's your thoughts at as a group here? What are you thinking right now?
Didn't you say that they tried to kill you?
Yeah, I did.
Right.
Yeah.
Feels a little bigger. Are you sure you want us?
That was sort of the question that I had as well.
Right. Well, okay. So here's my logic on this, right? And I understand why you guys might have some reservations. I don't mean this to be condescending or anything, but like right now, you guys are kind of nobodies, right? Nobody knows who you are.
Well, I would argue that I might be a little bit less of a nobody in certain circles.
Yeah, in certain circles. Yeah, that's
Yep.
true. That's true. But also, you've been shunned from those circles, so they're kind of trying to keep. I would assume if I was in their place, I would maybe keep a little bit of a distance, right?
Yep. To make a great point. That's very
Sorry.
fair.
Not to be too on the nose about it, but
Nope. You're right.
okay. So Azad, for what it's worth, I've done a little bit of digging. Rex is good at what he does. He's got a good PR team.
Don't I know it?
Yeah, so the smear campaign's been pretty good. It's been very effective. I imagine you probably haven't heard from too many people. Not smear campaign, but you know what I mean. Like
It is a smear campaign. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
you're taking the fall.
I understand. I understand what's happening. I get it.
Yeah, it's not great. I'll be honest with you.
What?
So
I haven't read a newspaper.
it's less newspapers and more like like person to person.
No one
What?
will talk.
Patchwork. What are they talking about?
Which persons are we talking about?
Anyway,
Who's
so
this-
you want our help,
who's
right? You said you want
Rex?
our help.
Okay, but wait.
No,
Wait.
no,
If we're
no.
talking about a smear campaign,
Yeah.
Azad, what
deli?
happened?
Can
We
just-
believe it's a dispute of a social nature.
Yeah.
We can't like go out with you not knowing anything.
No, well, Rev, you know my ex, well, my husband, but for all intents and purposes, I think that you know who
You
my
probably
ex
met
is.
him like
Yeah.
once. Yeah.
He's let's just say he doesn't really want me around, and therefore I'm not allowed to go back. And I think that is enough information for one evening. And anyway, you were saying that you would like our help with the snake and dagger situation. I am so in. Tell me everything. Tell me all the details about the stake and the dagger, and yeah.
Small Detective Corna, it seems the social engagement was romantic in nature.
Oh. I'm sorry, Azad.
Oh no. This is uncomfortable. No, I'm glad that he's not around.
To be totally honest, he's an absolute piece of shit, and I
Well, then,
I
good
personally
for
feel
you.
terrible
Well,
for
I-
introducing
also-
them inadvertently.
kind of a wet blanket.
Well, I don't know if a wet blanket is what, but that's again.
Then good riddance.
Well, a wet blanket could be very useful in the right circumstances. Is your husband useful?
No. Well,
depends who you ask.
Yeah,
A wet blanket would be very useful in the event of a fire.
Exactly.
I mean, you still have
Patchwork?
the money, right?
Yes. Yes, I have the money. I don't have my children. Now, can we please stop this conversation and go back to the thing about the dagger and the snake? Because I am done.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you guys how to live your lives, but
I have one more question, but it can wait until later.
Thank you.
Yep.
I would love for you to tell me how to live my life. What should I do next?
So I lost my train of thought, to be completely honest with you. This is a pretty serious digression. But okay. So my point is essentially, who better to begin the process of gathering some information in more practical sense, a little more hands-on, than 6 people who have not been seen together really ever. Did a little digging yesterday. You guys actually did a pretty good job. We kind of kept tabs on things. You guys did a pretty good job of removing yourselves from the situation without being noticed by anybody. Granted, helped out considerably by the fact that it was A, nighttime, and B, most people in the vicinity were quite drunk and or fornicating. So, sorry, Corner. I know that you're an adult, but also like you're 9, and I feel like sometimes I feel, yeah.
I mean, I know what sex is, if that's what you're
All right,
asking about.
He's taller
Yes,
than you,
we
boss.
are also aware of what coitus is.
Oh my god.
Perfect. Okay, he's taller than me, but I'm a pixie. That doesn't mean anything. I'm like hundreds of years old.
So
Okay.
Perhaps
there's this
it is-
snake
Okay.
and this
9.
dagger, and you want our
Yes.
help.
Yes. So here's my thought. I know some folks who are more connected in places that are not great to be connected in. I don't want you guys to get involved in that at this point, right? You have reputations that by and large are pretty good. Let's try to keep it that way. I mean, by and large. Again,
Wow, I have a reputation?
no, in your particular instance, you don't have your reputation, and honestly, it's probably the best case scenario for anybody.
I've only met like 35 people in my life, so.
I have had parties with like many times more people than that. Okay.
I'm pretty obviously connected to you.
True, but you don't have a reputation. And look, not to... Okay, I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't feel kind of like a dickhead, but...
I've done nothing. I know, I've done nothing for months.
No,
I have
that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that I'm not supposed to pick favorites of the people that I help to support. You are my favorite. But you're not the
Where?
only kid that I've helped get through a tough situation. So from the outside perspective, you're one of many kids that I'm like helping to foster and get through a tough time.
I think Patrick has a question.
Patchwork, yeah, you got a question. What's going on? How can I help?
Master Giovanni, may we inquire as to our reputation so we might update our records?
As one of the most dedicated documentarians of several generations.
We keep thorough records.
The best records. Patchwork.
This is not new information.
But it is your reputation. Which might have been new to other people, even though you've known this about yourself for quite some time.
We will file it under new category, reputation.
Wonderful. Oh, this is a new... You don't keep track of other people's reputations?
I think that Patchwork's working on the social stuff. That's been a little bit newer in terms of our conversations.
Wonderful.
We log what is true.
Right. Yeah. Again,
without internal biases. That is the nature
that
of
is
cataloging.
social stuff. That is just social stuff. Is internal biases. Yes. So.
And sometimes external in the case of reputations.
Yes.
Alistar, what's your reputation?
A reputation is but superficial. It's with our uses, with our actions, that really creates what you personify. So, If thou askest me what mine own reputation is, I don't know. But I hope that whatever quest that Master Giovanni wished to give us would only bolster us as righteous heroes of the realm.
That's my thought exactly. So, here's my thought right now. Did you leave people alive? You didn't bring anybody else with you from?
What?
We have Jimmy, right?
Yeah, I did
It's
see some
Taryn.
wolves.
One said person have lost their life, unfortunately. But I have done mine own best to make sure the rest were rejuvenated, to at least be breathing. We are not murderers.
I don't want to disagree with you, Alastar, but as we were leaving, I did see a lot of very rabid-looking wolves running towards the tent that we had just vacated.
I beg your pardon.
They were not rabid, they were just hungry.
Well, hungry, rabid, they probably ate them, is what I'm trying to say.
Master
It's not your
Giovanni,
fault.
We must head back immediately.
No,
Giovanni,
no.
there was a name. There was a name
There was
of
a name.
one of the ones who's now dead. The boss in the tent, the one who hit folks with the Azad with the mental whammy. Phaedrus? Jimmy might have it because Jimmy said Jimmy gave it. Like, that's the name of the boss who had. They might. I don't know if it'll get you anywhere. But did Jimmy already leave?
Phaedrus. No, Jimmy and
they might have more information. We might want to ask them.
I have a feeling
stuff.
that Jimmy and our bugbear friend won't be leaving here anytime soon.
Yeah. So yeah. Full disclosure, we're having some conversations with. Ooh, that's a scratchy sound.
What is that?
No
I love it.
That was
Right back.
notes. That was notes. I get it
Glorious
now.
sound
Now
of
we'll all know when the
The
notes
mic's
are
too
out.
good.
So Jimmy and Terrence and Jeffrey are having a conversation. I do actually think that the two of them, Terrence is one of the gentlest beings I think I've ever met in my entire life. Assad, he's got quite a thing for you. Whatever, I'm just delivering the information.
You like the bugbear.
I
very nice.
like him. He's very sweet. I don't like him.
I think it's more of a passing crush. I don't think
Is
you have
Vincent still in the room?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's sitting there with you guys.
Look.
Yes.
But
He's just sitting there.
Desirable.
I think, like, as you guys have had this conversation, Vincent has like slowly pulled all of the plates of cookies towards himself, and like the full like pitcher of milk, and is just like quietly like taking all of this in and just shoving cookies into his face. Homemade chocolate chip cookies, man. Hard to argue with. And, or like homemade.
Homemade milk?
Homemade
Oreos?
milk? Yeah.
Oreos. There we go. Oreos. Oreos. Great
Put
cookie.
in the thorough notes. Oreos.
Oreos.
Those belong in Katie's notes.
That's fair. I gotta open my notes back up.
Yeah, so he's just sitting and listening.
Okay.
You know, part of this is also like it pertains to him, but in the context of like things he could not hear. So this is all information that is valuable to him from his own perspective. So Jeffrey and I had a quick conversation, and the two of us think that actually Jimmy and Terrence are potentially, I should call him Terry. He likes to go by Terry. Are potentially a huge asset to what we're doing around here. And actually, Terrence seems to be very domestic. Turns out he's actually a pretty good cook. Based on his own, word, but we've actually been thinking about employing them both here. They also happen to have some pretty useful knowledge. They know faces, if not names.
Oh,
Whether or not Whether or not those faces are in fact the faces of the people, that remains to be seen. But
there's nowhere else.
Rev, it's okay. You have time to make up for the fact that you were.
Wait, hold on. What happened?
Rev went on a date with Jimmy. It didn't go
It
well.
wasn't a date. It wasn't.
It was
Rev,
a
he's
date.
really cute. What happened?
And then he
wasn't, and I was just using him to back up Azad. And he may or may not have figured it out when I used him as a human shield and threw a dagger.
You used him as a human shield?
Twice.
2
And
times?
I threw a dagger at his boss.
Okay, well, I mean, in the context, that makes sense. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's going to get over the dagger at his boss thing pretty quickly. They sound like pretty terrible people. I'm not going to tell you to apologize or write a written apology. Did you write it?
It didn't work.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what they say, time heals all wounds. That's actually not true. I've been around for a long time, and I still have some that. But
so you want us to do what exactly? I'm sorry, we keep getting.
So did you spend any time actually in the tent looking around? Because you left with the whole cage, so I have to assume probably not, right?
Well, we were sort of occupied by
fair.
people being cut in half and stuff.
Someone got cut in half? What the hell? Who did that?
Well,
I don't know. I missed the whole thing.
That is true. Corey was spending a lot of time sprinting and very little time fighting, which, again, it really is hard for me also to wrap my brain around the fact that you are a fully grown adult. So that made me feel a little bit better in the moment.
We forced him to be on the other side of the circus because he was our distraction.
Yeah. So no, sorry. To answer your question, no, we did not have any time to go around the tent or really investigate at all. We kind of just.
I rifled through Phaedra's whatever's pockets.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Okay.
In our own defense, Mistress Azad nearly died. And if it wasn't for our swift action, she may not be with us today.
Well, on that account, I am glad that you all acted as quickly as you did.
So sorry, do you want us to go back?
Yes, absolutely.
For what?
For whatever other information that might be there. Did you? I mean, so okay. Here's what I'll.
You think there's more secret notes with seals?
I would have to imagine there probably are. However, I would recommend that not only should you check that tent, but also so obviously these folks have to stay somewhere while they're here, right? Did you? I mean, I'm gonna assume you didn't, because you didn't have time. But it is worth checking out the sleeping quarters of the individuals.
And I listen, Giovanni. You know that I trust you implicitly. We did just steal a gigantic drake in a cage.
Yeah, didn't you hear me before though? You did a great job of getting away.
So what you're saying is no one noticed?
As shocking as this may sound, all the drunk people who are busy fucking and in the dark didn't see you. Yeah.
I did see some things.
I'm so sorry, Corey. It still feels inappropriate.
It's fine. I'm 9.
Corey, you can't keep saying that like it's reassuring.
Corey, I am over 900 years old. This is just makes me feel worse. I'm going to be honest with you. But okay.
Above the table, very quickly. 9 in kobold years is what in human years? Just because I need to know this for my own sake.
Like 20, 21.
Okay.
Yeah, fully
grown. Okay,
yeah.
All right.
For the Trek nerds out there, think like the Gem Hadar.
Cool.
You know, they have accelerated growth and are adults in like a year.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
I'm sure there's a couple of those in chat. Sound off.
Those Trek nerds are popping off in this fantasy role playing. Oh boy. Really getting it. Target audience.
Thou art to know not to underestimate Sir Corna. He may be young, but Corna is powerful. and it's grand as a dragon.
All right, so are we going back in the morning when there are not people fucking?
I need a nap for sure.
I would definitely recommend you guys take some time, eat some food. I've got rooms set up for you already. I assumed with a lot of you coming back, I was going to have guests. You have rooms made up. I have made up individual rooms. However, if some of you would like to stay with one another, totally understand. We can shift things around. It's magical. It's very easy to do. He turns, Vincent, also, I have a room for you. I assume you're going to stay for a little bit. So, feel free to make yourself comfortable. We can talk, over the next couple of days about what's going on. So my recommendation would be to just go in tomorrow. The circus is going to continue for another couple of days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Billion, we could probably make sure all the animals got out.
Oh boy, we gotta go back.
Well, there you go.
We can catalog a fire eater.
Oh, the fire eaters are pretty talented, actually. They did a great job with a couple. They got some folks from pretty far away to come do that. If you haven't seen them already, you should definitely check it out.
Will security be stronger now that we have committed what we have done in the past?
Yes. With that said, I would advise you to just act as naturally as you possibly can. I do know a couple of folks in the city guard. I can't guarantee that they're the people that'll be working near the tent or sort of keeping an eye on it as they are proceeding with their investigation. But if one of them is, and they happen to see you, they know who to look for, and they will allow you access. That is the best that I can do. If somebody else comes along, you will have to talk your way out of it. I'm not omnipotent, obviously, but I can call in a favor or two. So what I've done is I've tried my best to ensure that you're going to have access to the tent in which you were last night. I don't know where they're staying. You're going to have to find that. You might have to ask around, but...
well, doesn't Jimmy know?
Oh, shit.
Or
Yeah,
Terry?
Jimmy probably does know. Jimmy and Terry probably both know. I'll ask him. I'll pass that information along.
Do you want me to interrogate them and shake them down?
No, Corey, you don't need... As much as I would love to see that, because it sounds spectacular, no, they've been incredibly cooperative. I think we'll be just fine. Yeah.
That's fine too, I guess.
I mean, unless you really want to. I don't want to...
No,
I don't want to take that from you. You seem disappointed, and I feel like I'm taking away something from a child, which I know you cannot, but,
It just might help in the case of the seal with the 2 snakes. I'm workshopping the name. It's really long right now.
It is. That's quite a mouthful, yeah. Yeah, it's quite a mouthful. If I might make a recommendation, get a good night's rest. You're safe here. Enjoy it, right? You'll have breakfast waiting for you in the morning. I think Terrence is actually already signed on to do that, so you'll see him tomorrow.
Now I'm very uncomfortable about that. Why did you have to tell me?
Just thought it'd be just in the sake of transparency.
Ignorance is definitely bliss in a situation like this.
Look, I think it's like a passing crush. I don't think it's anything long term to worry about.
It still makes me feel weird.
He's a gentle soul. You'll be fine.
I know, and that's why it makes me feel weird.
Don't feel weird about it. Just squash it. Nip it in the bud. It'll be fine. This is good for you. This is growth. I heard somebody squeak out of sound. Who's got a question? He looks around the table. Corey, I see you grinning at me from across the table. What's going on?
I was just going to say, Azad, you don't have to feel weird.
Yes, Korna is right. Romantic feelings are perfectly natural for humanoids.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
But
or doesn't.
You.
It's
It's fine. I'm an adult. It's okay. I will be okay. It just is, I felt like the relationship he and I were developing was very parental in nature, and then that kind of threw a bit of a.
It was 30 minutes.
Yes, but I don't know. I thought we had a nice little bond going on.
Not everyone.
Azad, do you not go on many dates?
I mean, I was married, Corey. No.
So the answer is no. She didn't go on many dates.
No.
Is that something you're supposed to do when you're married?
Mistress Azad,
I mean, keep the fire alive, right?
What fun? I'm confused.
Well, maybe Azad could sleep on strategies for the best way to improve her romantic life.
Oh,
That seems like a good idea.
I'm
You guys
Yeah,
all, I will tell you right now, you watch Vincent is like snickering into his cookies as all this is happening. Just like,
How many dates you been on, Vincent?
shut up.
Al, you were gonna say something to me. Please
Mrs.
let it
Adam.
be not this.
I doth not know much about love, but I've once heard that to get over one person is best to get under another. Right.
Azad just blushes, just like
Words to
the
live
entire
by.
face is just like tomato red. She's like, I wish I hadn't asked what you were gonna say.
Mechanic Reverie. Vincent wouldn't be able
No,
to
I
go
know
on
a
many
really
dates.
good bar. We could go
Okay,
out.
I think we should go to
If
bed
you want to
now.
go back to the carnival, there were a lot of people getting over breakups.
I love that that's your interpretation. Corey's like, yes. So by getting under someone, you are getting over someone. That's the only way in which this is
Only
happening.
option.
Delightful.
I think it's bedtime for everyone. That includes you, Rev. No going out for drinks tonight. We have things to do.
Okay. And Rev's just gonna go to the fridge and pull out a beer. I'm not going out.
Oh, right. Well, bring the beer up to our room and you can have it in bed.
My
We
room.
sit
We are in
around.
different rooms. I get my room back.
Okay.
I let you all sleep over the other night. I get my room back.
Okay. All right.
Get your frilly white things into your own closet.
It's not frilly. It is traditional.
Mistress Reverie, Mrs. Azad only wishes for the best for you. Partaking in such extremities may be, especially at this late hour, may not be the smartest of things, especially we have to wake up early tomorrow to continue our endeavor.
Cheers.
Out of his pocket. So Giovanni is still like human sized at this point, and he just like pulls out a bottle of Oudville and is like, I mean, I do actually have the solution here. This will remove any hangovers from any of you. So if you feel so inclined to partake, the fridge is well stocked. However, I should insist that at some point you do all get at least 8 hours of sleep.
Terry function best on 5. 8
Rev,
tired.
that is.
I usually do 4 and then 2 awake and then 4 more asleep. So
I have so much concern for the two of you.
Billion, you want a beer? Vincent, have you ever had beer? We're getting you a beer. Don't dunk the Oreos in
I
it.
have.
We
No,
do
no
not
Oreos.
require
No Oreos in the
neither
beer?
food nor drink nor
And-
sleep.
Yeah, Rev will pull 2 more beers out for the boys.
All right, don't mind if
yeah, what I want a
Horny?
beer.
I'll take a beer. Yeah.
Cool. And I'll pull one out for
Alistar, do you want
I'm
one
just
too?
popping tops and
Me?
there's juice. There's seltzer.
Seltzer sounds right up mine own alley.
Cool. And she'll pull out her favorite flavor. It's probably fucking grapefruit and gives it to him.
Is it an alcoholic seltzer?
No. It's
Oh, I thought you were like-
it's the LaCroix that she
Okay.
drinks when she's
It's like
here.
poor Al is getting unknowingly dosed.
No. Because he mentioned he doesn't drink, so she's giving him a not alcoholic.
The LaCrux.
The LaCroix, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's got to go in my notes.
LaCroix.
Crux. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Many
no.
thanks, Mistress Reverie.
Patrick,
you.
you don't.
Patrick does not eat nor drink nor sleep. While this like cacophony of getting drinks is happening,
Mm.
Patchwork like waddles their way over to Vincent and would like to just very casually talk to him as like he's eating cookies.
Yeah.
Excuse me, rescued captive Vincent.
Yes, I actually don't know that we've been introduced formally.
Oh, we are
Patchwork. Vincent, a pleasure, and he holds out his hand to shake yours.
Patchwork reaches out the little twig hand, which is the opposite hand. So like kind of grabs the outside and kind of like goes, "We've made contact."
A pleasure.
We come bearing an inquiry.
I'm happy to answer, yes.
Your shape, it changed.
Yes. Jeffrey very kindly illuminated me to the ability to my own sort of dormant ability to change.
So you can perform this task at will.
I can, yes. It appears.
May we catalog you in both these forms?
She just wants to take your picture.
Oh, well, yes, of course. Maybe
Drops
maybe
the drink and walks away.
This one here, and then I don't want to break anything. Giovanni's kitchen is so nice.
Do you require sleep?
Well, yes, yes, I do.
Currently, at this moment.
Oh, at this exact no.
We could step out to the courtyard as the lighting from the moon.
Oh,
is optimal for capturing.
Patchwork. They keep saying that you are a documentarian, but if I didn't know better, I would say you are an artist. Quite the eye.
The moon is very bright.
But the lighting is very good.
Yes, because it is bright.
But don't you think that the lighting adds to the mystique of a photograph or a drawing? The allure, perhaps?
The moon is very bright.
Sure, I'll go with that, yes. And he offers his arm to walk out.
Is Vincent hitting on our robot?
I think Vincent is... make an insight check.
I would also like to know this.
Sure, both of you can make an insight check.
22.
17 on the die.
17 on the die?
21.
21? Okay, you jealous bitches. No. You get the sense that, one, he's just enjoying the conversation and is, like, also himself very curious. And two is, like, maybe just, like, a little bit vain and likes the idea of having a picture of himself drawn by somebody.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
Exactly. Yes.
Wearing this.
But no, it's not anything in that regard. It's truly that he's curious about Patchwork's. I will say you guys rolled above 20. He clearly has never seen a Modron before, and is very curious. And again, he's a dragon, right? Like he's a drake. He's a little bit vain, and the idea of somebody drawing him is something that he just. I mean, how is he gonna say no? But yeah. That's where you're at.
Azad, do you want a beer or not?
Well, if everyone's having one and we're not going to sleep, I don't want to be the only person to go upstairs. So, yes.
You do really badly against peer pressure, and she'll hand her a beer. And then just go sit down across from Billy and be like, so you've only met 35 people? And just like start asking him to name these 35 people and tell him about them.
And that will be the rest of the stream. So Alex
right, exactly.
Name 35 people in this fantasy one.
Great. There's Ben and Lore and Fair and Oma. I have all of my siblings written down right here. I have.
Oh, that's right, you do. I forgot. But yeah, she's just getting to know Billion.
Cool.
And I think Azad is just gonna kind of sit awkwardly in the way that like a parent, like someone who's like 30, not even a parent, someone who's 30, like at like a college party would, where it's just kind of like, I don't belong here, but I'm just gonna nurse my beer and kind of look at everyone.
And I keep giving sips to Neener, who's sort of sitting like a person.
Yes, he is.
Does Neener want his own beer? No, it's okay. You can give Nina a sip.
I mean,
You
hey,
all
look,
give
if
me
somebody-
faces for giving Gorna a beer, but you're gonna offer it to the badger?
I was about to say that's pretty fucked up.
The badger's enjoying himself.
Listen,
Let him live.
Gorna!
the badger just gives me adult vibes. I don't know how else to say this.
Billion, you'd know
Gorna,
this.
you give me adult vibes. It's fine.
Corna got
Thanks, Rev.
excited to go back to the circus in a really
So am
juvenile.
I.
Yeah, but okay.
Wait, what did I know?
You can enjoy things. The
I've
circus
never
isn't
been to a circus
juvenile.
before.
So,
It's
Billion,
a very exciting experience.
Billion, you would know through your conversations with Neener that, yeah, he's got like a whole family. He's like, the equivalent of being like in his like mid to late 30s as a badger.
Nina
Yeah,
has beady,
like a middle-aged
big
man.
dad
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah, Neener is like fully is a dad. Like, yeah, he's got like
He's more an adult than I am.
Yes.
he's probably more an adult than anyone else at this table, and that includes Azad, who also has children. I guess the one exception being Jeffrey, who's like ancient, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, Giovanni as well. I suppose.
Giovanni, rather. Jeffrey actually is not with you guys. Sorry, the two names get mushed up in my head. So-
I
Yeah,
would
go ahead.
like Alistair to see the abyssal dragon that
Mhm.
hasn't left his mind, it being
Mhm.
abyssal, walk off with a tiny little patchwork, and I kind of want to like stealthily bugbear like disappear, go into the shadows, and like kind of pop up right behind them before they leave, and like
Yeah.
just like in this big dad glooming, crossing his arms, looking on over at this elf-like dragon transformed being.
Stealthily bugbear.
It's like,
I love
That's
it.
all
Yeah.
bugbears are.
where art thou heading? As they just kind of look down and eye this transformed dragon.
Oh, well, Patchwork and I were going to go to the courtyard to draw me in this and my other form. Would you like to join us? We could do a portrait of the two of us together.
I'll pass, but what are thy intentions, truly?
Well, at the moment, I would like very much to get to know the city that I find myself in. I was not from here originally. I am actually unfamiliar with this plane of existence as a whole. So I think I would like to start there with being able to begin to acquire some knowledge. It would be disingenuous of me to say that I didn't have somewhat of a mind to exact some form of revenge on those who captured me. I recognize that those who held me, you all very wonderfully dealt with. But someone else is responsible. I'm not a young being, but nor am I terribly old. I am, however, old enough to know that those who I spent my time with on the road are not the ones responsible for my incarceration. And I would very much like to find and hold those responsible accountable for their actions.
Where art thou original from?
The Abyssal Plane.
And you see he like scowls after hearing mentions of the abyssal plane.
He's going to make an insight check on you. That's a natural 2. He doesn't know shit. He's still preoccupied with cookies and the idea of having himself drawn. Well, it appears you have feelings on this, although can't quite ascertain from whence they come. Would you like to have a conversation about my history and also yours at some point? It seems perhaps our roads were meant to cross.
Conversation is to be had soon, yes.
I look forward to it.
As doth I. And I go over to Patchwork and kind of bend down to their level and kind of just tap him on the metallic head. Be safe, little one. And then walk back, sipping on my LaCroix. Walk back to the table.
All right. So, any other conversations any of you guys would like to have at the table or with Giovanni? Are you?
if I don't mind just concluding the Vincent sketch if you want to just like knock that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Patchwork asks Vincent to first transform into Drake form.
Okay.
And then back into elf form. And when Patchwork hands over the art, now Patchwork's making 2 copies, one for himself and
smart.
one to give. And it's the copy of a charcoal sketch of the Drake, and then the elf sitting on the Drake's tail, even though the elf didn't have anything to sit on.
Make a performance check with advantage.
Ooh, hello. Performance? Hello? That's going to be an 18.
18? My goodness. There is a definitive Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park vibe to the elven. Like, his shirt is not unbuttoned that far in real life, nor is his chest somehow glistening, but you have captured this in a way that is, in Vincent's own words, oh my.
You cannot let Azad or Rev see this drawing.
This is delightful, Patchwork. I owe you my thanks. This is beautiful. How long have you been cataloging in this manner?
More than 2 centuries.
Oh. Well, the refinement of your art shows. I recognize that you refer to it as cataloging, but this is art, Patchwork. This is beautiful art. I obviously am a little bit biased, of course, but subject matter aside, your handiwork speaks for itself.
We've captured you for cataloging adequately.
More than adequately.
Then we shall depart. Patrick walks away.
You just hear like a quiet chuckle, and he follows you back in after a couple of minutes.
So, is it bedtime now that everyone's had their beers and their La Crocs and the pictures have been taken? I think we should all go to sleep now.
Yep, me and Nur are going in for the night.
Nur?
That's what I call it.
Oh my gosh. Wonderful. Yeah, I think at this point, there are probably a couple of you who want to stay up a little bit later than others, but I think, as you begin, folks begin to depart.
Rev's like picking up beer bottles and putting them in the trash as folks are finishing things. But
the unseen servants are following you around like, that's my job. Okay.
I think while this is happening, I am passing out Oatville to make sure that everyone has the appropriate amount for the following morning.
Wonderful.
Just in case, you might not need it. It was only 1 beer, but you never know.
It was just 1, but thank you.
Yeah.
And with that, you all depart to your rooms, or if 2 of you are you all going to separate rooms? What's the plan?
I imagine Patchwork would come with me unless Patchwork expressed a desire to be alone.
Patchwork will just request a window where the sun rises.
Easily enough done.
Rev's gonna go to her own room, which I think is the room we slept in the last night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's gonna go to her room.
Wonderful. Has fewer beds in it this time. Just the 1 now. Yeah. And how about our boys?
Yeah, I'm going to the furthest reach of the house. Me and Neener.
Cool.
And as always, before bed, Patchwork and I work on our narrative storytelling, in which I try to teach them how to make things up and how to create worlds and that sort of thing.
We, as a group, instead of solving a puzzle, carried a puzzle from one location to another. And subsequently, the puzzle exploded.
That is a story. You know what, Patchwork? That's one of the best that I've heard from you, genuinely, in the last several months. I think you might want to dig into the why a little bit more. Why did we as a group carry the puzzle? Why did the puzzle explode? And you know what? Why don't you think about
the explosion was a falsehood. That did not occur.
Okay, all right. That's so
That is a story, correct? A lie.
Patchwork. Yes. A story is a lie, but it's a lie that is often rooted in truth. So why don't you think about the day that we had today, and then think about how you can stretch pieces of that day that are untrue and turn them into something else.
And as you begin to have that conversation about like, what is a story and how is it different from just a flat out lie? The night falls about you into darkness and you all sleep in beds that are wonderfully comfortable for some of you, maybe the first time in a while. The following morning you arise. I am curious who the first people to wake up are. I know it's not Rev.
Alistair would always, not only would he have taken probably the longest time picking his room, because he has to count every single room on every single door.
There are a lot. Oh, Alistair. Oh,
Did Alistair sleep?
Could you?
Oh no.
I will say guest rooms are on the second floor. Of many. There are no, there's not enough that you would if you, unless you decided that you wanted to continue upwards, in which case we might have to make a Constitution saving throw to see if you take a point of exhaustion from being up all night. If you decided to just count all of the rooms to your guest room, then you certainly got to sleep. Okay. But I am curious, like how like was Alistair like, no, I'm gonna set a threshold. I will not go past this right now.
Alistair must complete every single. If it can be quantified, he must count it in his general vicinity. So
okay, you're fine then. So you got to bed. It took you a while to get to your room. There are a lot of guest rooms, but you were able to get your full 8 hours of sleep. Not a problem.
And then, if he can, we would be the first, unless someone like has elven lineage and only needs 4 hours, he would be the first to wake up as well.
Sure thing. Yeah. In that case, you are the first person to get downstairs in the morning. You go down and find. Oh my gosh, our landlord is calling us currently at 9 p.m.
Should I just go answer it?
Yeah, go answer.
Yeah,
Keep calling him as well.
Sounds like it's an emergency.
Multiple times, yeah.
Yeah. You're the first person down. You see Terry is already there in the kitchen. He is happily cooking. I will say, based on your limited experience with him between yesterday and today, he looks like an entirely new bugbear. And he sees you come in. He says, "Oh, good morning. What can I get for you?"
Good morrow, kind sir. Does thou needest any help?
No, I'm everything I could possibly want in the kitchen is right here. What would you like to eat this morning?
Perhaps, methinks, some egg whites with a slice of bacon. Of course, of only the purest and most healthiest of hams, as well as a small glass of orange drink.
Do you want me to cut the fat off the bacon?
Oh, if it wouldn't be of any trouble to you. To them.
I'm a professional cook now. It's my dream job. So I'm happy to do it. And you see, he just he goes to work and he makes it for you and he pops it down, a few minutes later. The orange juice comes out, orange drink comes out. And I think there's just like this moment of sort of like awkwardly just the two of you in the kitchen for a bit. I am curious who maybe comes down next, but I think the two of you have this moment of like two bugbears in a fancy ass kitchen. Yeah,
5 feet apart.
Yeah, definitely. He does stay a good amount of distance away, but well, I'm pretty sure he's not dressed nearly as dapper as Al. So Al kind of goes to his backpack and goes.
I just need to say that call was multiple times, like 3 times, to let me know that he'd received my email. I just need to say that, and then we can go back to playing. Yep. Nope. So glad I walked away for that.
Cool.
Wow, landlords are such an important and integral part of our society as a whole. They're very economically beneficial, you know, like as a holder of housing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Just like wow, just great. A real great class structure we got going on. Super efficient.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Anyway, so
I'm back.
yes. So you and Terry are just there together.
Yeah. I'll pull out my backpack. Thou has made quite brave choice with thine own attire, but as a bugbear, thou must dress a little more appropriately. And I just so happen to have an outfit that, and I kind of look at him. We're probably similar size, being bugbear. And I pull out one of my tight. Like Elizabethan poofy clothes, and I go. I have several copies and editions of this, but if thou is going to be working here amongst the Grand Master Giovanni, thou should dress at the part. So, you're welcome.
He takes it from you. Make an insight check.
Sure. I don't think I'm very insightful.
That's okay. It's like DC 8.
Okay, so let's see. 13.
13? In this moment, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is the first gift he has ever received.
Shut up. Don't say that.
And he looks down at it, and he looks back up at you, and he's like, you sure you don't want anything for this?
No, not at all. Thou wearing it would be the grandest of gestures and repayment upon mine own self. If thou was going to be working in such establishment, thou must dress the part, act the part, be the part.
Be the part. I'm a fancy chef. Fancy.
Thou certainly are.
You see just like a single tear trickles down his face, and he like runs into the other room and comes back. You hear his previous clothing like literally being like ripped off of his body, and he comes back in. He is, also quite muscular and fills it out quite well. He is a little bit more. He's got like more brownish green hues to his fur. So you guys look a little bit different, but it's very complimentary. And he comes back over and he says, "I feel fancy. This is." And then he kind of leans in, conspiratorial, and he's like, "Do you think? Is it Miss?" When it's a lady, do you call them master, or what do you call them?
Alzer leans back to break some distance between them. Mistress, you would call them mistress and a master for gentlemen. Other than that, you would ask them. It's proper to know what they would like to be called if you are unsure.
So I ask them if I don't know, but okay, that makes sense. So don't assume.
Correct. Thou shouldn't assume. Thou shalt ask, and then you shall receive.
Ask and I shall receive. Don't assume. Okay. And he sort of straightens himself up. Do you think Mistress Azad will think I look handsome in this?
Stop!
You look rather dashing. Thou should be proud of how thou represents thyself. Mistress Azad would find you perfectly adequate.
That sounds good to me. No one's ever thought me adequate before. And he's going to hold out his hand and say, "Can I shake your hand? I don't want to assume."
We'll die for him. Yep.
He kind of just holds out his hand and just kind of slowly goes.
Thank you, Master Alistar. Do you go by Master?
I'm not someone who deserves such respect. You can just call me Alistair.
Master Alistar, you gave me my first gift, and I respect you for that. Thank you very much. I'm glad we've met. I'm going to continue preparing breakfast now, but
Please do.
thank you. And he turns around and goes back and he starts sort of preparing, sort of like bulk kitchen, bulk breakfast things, like lots of bacon and eggs and whatever else. Who would like to wake up next?
I mean,
I think.
I was gonna say it would probably be me, but I could also see it being Bill.
Well, I think I hang out a little bit in my room with Neener, so you can go first.
Oh, I was gonna say whatever. I would probably wake up shortly after Alistar, as would Bill. So whoever you want to go to first. Also, Ben, fuck you, because I feel
that
so
baby
guilty that there
be
is no
protected.
world in which Azad can reciprocate these feelings.
It's a hard knock life out there for our friendly little bugbear feller.
It's okay. Sometimes having loved and lost is an incredibly good and important experience.
It's true. Better to have loved and lost than never loved at all.
Yeah. Also, since Patchwork was in Azad's room, Patchwork has just been standing by the window, motionless in rest, but like aware of everything,
Sure.
and just like knows when Azad gets up and just sort of like plods along behind.
I think that when Azad gets up, I'm gonna go to the closet. And I know that there was like a variety of different traditional Akkadian dress. And I think I would look for the thing that, having been to the carnival yesterday, would be the most innocuous. So that might be something that is a little bit more beige-ish as opposed to white, maybe like pants and a tunic as opposed to a dress. Like I'm trying to find the thing that will stand out the least in a crowd, given the fact that we just robbed them the night before.
And you liberated, but it's fine.
Yeah, but
it depends on who's asking. Yeah,
to blend in as best I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, towards the back of the closet, you find like more like normal, shall we say, more traditional Hagodian clothing. You were able to find, sort of like mid-calf boots and like pants and a tunic that are very different from your more traditional clothing and the things that you are used to wearing. I will also say I gotta pee like a motherfucker, so y'all talk amongst yourselves. I will hold on to get you downstairs so that maybe you and Alistar have a moment.
Sure.
Or you, Patchwork, and Alistar all have a moment.
Sure.
Is there anything that you like? Are you and Patchwork doing anything before you leave your room? Or
I was just gonna say I probably like cinch the waist a little bit so that like it accentuates my curves just like a little.
Yeah, who knows when you're gonna see Vincent?
Yeah, I know. I think that like honestly, I wait until Patchwork's not looking to do it because like it feels so.
Make a sleight of hand check, right? Meow.
Yeah.
Do you have to do it versus my perception?
We're gonna do it. Maybe I was gonna say your passive perception.
Yeah, that's a 7. So.
Oh yeah, no, I notice.
You see
Patchwork
in the reflection,
notices
off of the mirror, off of the window. You see,
yeah.
Azad like turns around and like looks at you, and then like.
Patchwork just goes, "Oh, tightening your belt, cool."
Like, totally normal, and
as a humanoid who wears clothing, that's
totally yep.
Absolutely par for the course.
Heckin' valid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. Nothing. Not the first time you've watched Azad cinch a belt before.
Nothing.
I do
literally
think
nothing
notice
abnormal.
that I spend a little bit more time in the mirror than I normally do. I think even Patchwork would notice that. Just kind of making sure everything's right, making sure that my hair is situated correctly,
Yes, as a differential quantity of time versus another in a similar situation.
Great. You know what? I can do anything in front of Patchwork. This is great.
Patrick has no judgment on
Doesn't
it
give a shit.
whatsoever.
Perfect.
Amazing. So the two of you make your way down to the kitchen. And the first thing you notice is, like, as you get to the first floor and you're approaching the kitchen, the smell is just phenomenal. It is food here has always been good, but unseen servants are ethereal and sort of like detached by nature. There is something about a meal made by someone who really loves what they're doing that is just better. And the two of you, like, walking down, Patchwork, I assume you can smell. We've never discussed that explicitly, but I would assume so.
Does Patrick have nostrils? Someone check the art. Check the art.
I didn't think you had a mouth. I just noticed the
Oh,
mouth on the
tiny
art
little
today.
Maybe
mouth.
Patchwork
Yeah.
smells through their
Patchwork does not have nostrils.
Yeah,
Patchwork
no.
does have a mouth.
I do have a
Maybe you
mouth.
smell through your
Weird
mouth.
Fleshy mouth.
Ah.
Retronasal olfaction? Yeah, that's a thing.
Okay.
Be more taste smells than smell them in the more traditional sense. Wonderful. So,
The fact that we are an hour and 15 minutes in and we haven't gotten past the
Hey,
like,
man.
oh, we're going to take a long rest.
that's okay.
We
So you
are
get-
bonding.
Yeah.
Hey, we are discovering important information about whether or not this little construct has nostrils or not.
These are important things to
These are-
establish.
These are the things
Yeah.
that matter.
Yes. You never know when
Not
you
like
might
you're
have to
telling.
make a perception check based on smell that saves the party's life.
That's true. That's
And it
true.
builds character
Yeah.
development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you two walk in. Azad, Patchwork, and Alistar, please make me a perception check.
Certainly, I am very perceptive.
Oh, I know what this is going to be about. It's funny.
19.
19, okay.
20, dirty.
20, dirty, okay. Patchwork, what'd you get?
Oh wait, what am I rolling?
Perception check.
Cool. Rachel failed that, and so did Patchwork. Extra one.
Oh,
Oh,
happy to be here.
This is what,
Alistar and Azad.
what were we perceiving?
Who
I'll
knows?
never know.
The two of you notice immediately, as soon as Azad walks into the room, Terry
Oh.
blushes ever so slightly and just wants to, Mistress Azad, Patchwork, is it Master or Mistress Patchwork? I don't want to assume.
We are just Patchwork.
Just Patchwork. Friend Patchwork?
We are just Patchwork.
You could be friend Patchwork.
I don't want to assume.
Our name is Patchwork.
Yes, but that
maybe,
was very disgruntled sounding. I have never heard you express that much emotion.
maybe just acquaintance for now.
Patchwork doesn't do. I wouldn't.
Oh, we are seeking a designation.
Yes.
Oh, we are Patchwork.
I am Terrence.
Terrence.
Pleased to meet you.
Chef Terrence.
Fancy Chef Terrence. yes.
Fancy Chef Terrence.
Yeah. That.
Yes.
Did Alistair give you some clothing that looks lovely?
Ah, Mistress's odd eyes.
Thank you.
Notice. Look how dapper very own Terrence.
I mean, I don't know who else they could have come from. To be fair.
Very true.
Master Alistar has impeccable taste in clothing.
Yes.
Mistress Azod, may I make you anything this morning for breakfast?
Oh, whatever you're cooking, I will. I don't want to impose. Just whatever you are making, I'll happily eat.
It's not an impose. It's not an impose. It's okay.
Oh, I mean, are you making everyone individual breakfasts? I don't.
Yes.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah, absolutely.
27.
He rolled a natural 3 on his deception. Fuck no, he's not making everyone an individual breakfast. You are getting preferential treatment at this moment. You get the sense, here's what I will tell you, is looking at what is being made and what Alistar is eating, because Alistar was first up, he got sort of like his ask.
Do I know what Rev likes for breakfast?
Coffee.
How did she take?
Which you
Yeah, you
do
probably
because we
do.
woke up the other day.
Yeah.
And I turned down anything but coffee.
Okay. What's Alistar eating?
Egg whites.
Egg whites with a slim slice of bacon from the purest and cleanest and fattest of hams, with the fat trimmed, I should say.
Yes.
I mean,
And orange drink.
In orange drink, yes.
Well, I love coffee. Coffee's great. And I mean, it looks like you already have egg whites and bacon out. So what about like an egg white omelet with maybe some broccoli and some cheese? Is that doable?
Right away, Mistress Azod. And he like bows terribly and then runs back over and very excitedly begins making your food.
I feel simultaneously so uncomfortable and so enamored by this by this sweet little bugbear.
I just want you to know, I did roll a natural 20 on his performance check to make you like the perfect omelet.
Oh.
No bugbear has ever cared about an omelet as much as this bugbear currently does. Yeah, it is.
We're not sure why, but
Mhm.
Patrick is like taking down the texture of the eggs, like on a little like notepad, just like
poking it.
no, like drawing
writing it?
Yeah, like sort of
Drawing?
like sketching the shape of it.
Yeah.
Because Patchwork has not seen eggs so fluffy.
These eggs are
Not 20
incredibly
eggs, that's
fluffy.
fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say let's take 2 to 5 minutes. I still have to pee.
Yeah, I was about
I'm
to
glad
ask you about
you know
that.
what? I'm glad
you
you still
held
have
that.
to pee because I worried.
My
for a moment.
my ADHD superpower where I can just not for like a while, but
you
I
just
do.
forget.
The entire
Probably
like
functions.
private chat was worried about him.
It's
All
true.
right,
Yeah.
we're gonna go back. And
How
starting...
dare you, random? Now we all have to drink water.
water.
Oh, sick.
Okay, now we all have to pee.
All right, I'm gonna put the
We're
starting
gonna
fuel
not drink
screen
water.
back on for like 5 minutes so that all of us can evacuate our bladders.
Wait,
and
with the fun song too.
with the fun song.
Yes.
Oh, I hate that song. I'm so
Gotta
sorry,
take a
everyone.
little
Another one? Oh,
Everyone-
you
I'm running out of water. I mean, this is liquid.
I have another can. I gotta
Sounds
open
good.
it
Oh my
up.
god,
Great.
Ryan,
Oh,
that's
no.
not water.
That's the
That's a
point.
bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the song
Right,
for a
Champ is
couple.
my-
And we are back.
Man, that song is fire. Every
It is so
Yeah,
good.
it's very good.
Everyone here, wait, before we start, I'm going to just link OBP's Twitter because they are the composers of this song, and I want to shout them out because they are wonderful.
Yeah.
It's so good. And take as someone who writes music, it's just like, it sounds great, it has everything, so they are talented.
They are so talented. Like,
Incredible.
10 out of 10. Yeah.
Also, like wonderful human beings on top of being like great musicians and composers, like stand-up people. Highly recommend them. They're great. Cool. So I'm gonna be honest. The two people that I really wanted to have moments with our friend Terry are the ones who got up first. I don't know if you guys have like morning routines that you would like to sort of like talk about, or if you guys just kind of like want to assume that you all gather and begin to have breakfast. Very much up to you. The food is put out in like, you know, just huge piles of eggs and biscuits and bacon and coffee and juice and whatever else, like anything that you could possibly ask for is made for you. Terrence, I'll say, as you guys begin to come down, Terrence is like just excited and happy to be here. Probably puts on a little bit of that, like, you know, like, oh gosh, I'm thinking, like, you know, like at like a, I'm blanking on what it's called, like a Benihana teriyaki, where they're like cooking right there at the table with you, like
Hibachi? No.
Hibachi.
Okay.
Like really trying to do like a little bit of like showing off. I assume that a lot of
Does
you
he have an
know.
omelet station set up?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And is just so jazzed to be present, you know, with all of you, and you know, working for somebody who actually values his time and skills, which are not fighting, it's cooking. But you guys have breakfast. Giovanni comes down looking a little bit bleary-eyed, as if he maybe didn't get as much sleep as he would have liked to. Then kind of, you know, flies down and grabs like a little mug and fills it up with coffee.
Does he have a mug that's the right size for him?
You better believe it. He's got a 1/4-inch mug.
A thimble full of coffee, if you will.
Exactly. So, what are you guys planning for today? You gonna head back down to the circus?
I think that's the move, right? Looking around, right? Circus?
I don't think Rev's there yet.
Yeah, did we all come down?
Yeah.
I think Rev would be towards the end of the pack. She would hear movement and be like, I should get up, and bleary-eyed.
Yeah.
I did want
sugar, cream.
You probably actually hear Corey running up and down the hallways.
Again, I don't understand how he is 20. I have so many questions about
He's
this.
9.
Right, but
you just gotta loosen up a little bit. He's just having fun.
No, you know, I appreciate someone who lets their childish nature stay with them into adulthood. That's, I guess, the approach I gotta take, because if I don't take that approach, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
What did you like to do as a kid?
Study? Read books?
There had to be something you did for fun.
Oh, well, I did research this very interesting phenomena that happened in the 1st century.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Yes. And I'm like jumping downstairs 3 at a time.
For fun, Azad, for fun.
That was
Have you ever
fun.
like jumped on the bed?
No.
I'm gonna be honest. That's bleak as hell.
Why would I jump on the
Rev's
bed?
gonna just like drag her by her arm into Rev's room. Be like, go.
You want
me to jump on the bed?
Good morning, goodbye.
Corny. Will you come jump on the bed with Azad? She needs to know how to have fun.
Would I ever? Of course.
Especially before we go to the
show you
carnival,
how?
Azad, you gotta enjoy some stuff. Yeah,
This
come
feels
on.
ridiculous, Rev.
Life is
No?
ridiculous.
No,
That's
yes,
why we have to
exactly.
celebrate it.
Well, should I take my shoes off? I don't want to get my shoes on the bed.
Whatever you
think it
want to do,
matters.
don't worry about it.
But then
I fucking ate cookies in bed last night. It doesn't matter. The
Well, I
unpaid
can
servants are gonna clean them all anyway.
There's so many crumbs all
There's
over
so
the
many
bed.
crumbs.
fully my worst nightmare. Me,
Oh,
the
it's
DM,
mine
then.
too. It's absolutely my worst nightmare. Yeah.
I think Azad's gonna kind of crawl up and like stand on the bed and just sort of,
stand
like,
up, and Rev will
like-
get up with her and be like, "Come on, bend your knees."
I think she's gonna like bounce lightly to the point where her feet don't
Come
actually leave the
Nope, come
mattress.
on, jump. I know you
I'm
can do it.
jumping. Rev,
Nope, your
this
feet
is
haven't left the
jumping.
ground. Come on, you can do it. What are you worried
Azad,
about?
come here,
What are you
come
so
on.
worried about?
Come on,
I'm
Azad.
not worried. This just feels ridiculous, Rev.
So what?
She
So
gives
what?
A little
You
hop.
can't look dignified while you're having fun. Come on.
Okay, all right.
I try to like time my jumps to be like the opposite of Azad,
that it,
so
like,
that way.
Bouncer.
So it bounces. Perfect.
I do think that the end result is actually that you end up bouncing much
Yes,
higher because you are so
absolutely.
small.
I'm
Yep.
Do
jumping.
we at any point after a little while do we get Azad to crack a smile?
I think that at a certain point when I start getting a little bit of air, I try not to show it, but there is just like a little like
Make a deception check.
upturn. I mean, I don't mind if you guys see, but Azad minds. 11.
You fucking see it. She's enjoying
It's just-
herself.
it's a little...
She's trying so hard to not let it on. She's doing one of those things. You know when you're having fun, but you don't want to notice. You're like
Yep.
smile. You smile down. Yeah. I'm not
We're
having
going
fun.
to the carnival. We're going to the circus. We have to be able to have fun.
This...
We will catalog fire eaters.
And
Where did Patchwork come from?
Follow us.
Patrick, jump on the bed with us.
Patrick was followed silently,
Like,
obviously,
fluttering next
and it's
to
just
us.
like been standing in the doorway, just like
Jesus.
watching everyone jumping.
Yes.
Patchwork, check this out. And I like jump off the bed with like all this extra air that I'm getting from the counter jumps, and I do like a flip and land in like a big superhero pose.
Hell yeah.
Like a
Still bad
3-point.
for me.
That was dope.
Yeah,
Azad, what's your superhero land?
I don't know what that means.
Do a pose.
It's like-
Jump off the bed and do a pose.
I think
as silly
Azad,
as you can.
Azad kind of hops off the bed and then goes like,
We'll work on it. And Rev will hop off the bed and just like
Oh yeah!
well, that
Corey's
was
just like clapping, like that was a really good one. Patchwork, what's your
Thanks for helping,
superhero
Courtney.
pose?
Patrick tentatively like flutters their little wings and sort of like gets like mid in the air and then like flies toward the bed and like does a little like quarter turn and then like sits on the edge and is like,
that was dope.
that's cute as
Whoa.
hell.
Whoa!
this little like bumblebee turn and then just like sits.
That was awesome. We're going to let's all get ready to go to the circus.
It wasn't
have
remotely
fun.
efficient.
Well,
Fun doesn't have
Rev.
to be efficient.
Rev, we need breakfast too.
I had coffee. It'll be fine.
Rev,
Oh,
you really
gosh.
should. You know, Terry made some wonderful egg white omelets, and
I just
with, like, the
all I need is
fresh
coffee.
mozzarella, and it was. I'm gonna. Maybe I'll ask Terry if I can take something to go for you. How does that sound?
Probably like the omelet's gonna get a little soggy. Look, I'm fine. I'm gonna eat coffee, and if I get
Eat
hungry,
coffee?
there's
You're
snacks
gonna
that-
eat coffee, Rev?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna put a lot of cream and sugar in it. It's basically a meal. I'm gonna. All I need is coffee. It's all I can do in the morning. Anything else makes me feel weird.
Can you
I'm
at
gonna.
least
I'll
do,
eat
like,
a snack. I'll eat a snack.
So as you guys argue your way down,
Yeah, we argue our way to the kitchens for sure.
Absolutely.
Also,
you guys
Azad
can
absolutely
go-
puts like a tablespoon of butter into Rev's coffee so she can at least get some calories and fat.
Honestly,
Bullet coffee is delicious.
What did
So
you
good.
do?
No, bullet coffee is so good. You wouldn't even. Okay, it's fine.
I'm with.
Rev
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
know
be
this.
honest. I'm with Katie on this one.
Rev is
Billion, do you think in the interim you and Nur got up and went downstairs to get food?
Yeah, me and Nur have just been like doing calisthenics in the bedroom together,
Hell yeah.
and then we're headed down for
somebody else is
breakfast.
working out,
We're each
too.
eating a salad.
Yeah, we're eating
You
a
hear us,
salad.
you're like, oh, they're working out.
Yeah,
Breakfast salad.
with
Nur
lots
is,
of nuts.
is fully like sitting on the table like a person, just like eating food.
On
so-
the table like a person, Ben?
Well, he's sitting like a person, but he's on the table. He's not
Yeah,
tall
because
enough
he's
to
little.
reach.
He's got a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Also,
Um,
isn't there like miniature furniture things that like the pixie uses? So like, is it?
I think he's like sitting along. So like, there's like the little pedestal where Giovanni sits, so he can be at like more or less eye level with the rest of you, and Nina is sitting like next to that. I think the two of them are probably engaged in like quiet conversation. In like and you know, fucking Giovanni is responding in kind. So you guys all get a good breakfast in whatever way that may be, whether it's a salad or
Eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict, yeah. Coming right up, young master. Master, do you use master or mistress?
Master.
Didn't want to assume.
Of course.
And it whips up fresh eggs Benny for you. Vincent comes in smelling strongly of tobacco with a cup of coffee that he had gotten much earlier, and sits down at the table with you guys. You all have a like lovely family meal. And you roll for the Bugbear Chef, honestly.
You got a natural 20 on my
He did,
omelet.
He did, and I think for the rest of the meal, as he's making it, well, I'll use that advantage for him making that meal. That is a. So it's not a natural 20 this time, unfortunately, but it's a dirty 23 for the rest of the meal. It's a great meal. If unseen servants could look a little bit huffy about being shown up, these do.
You can only see them.
We feel.
You can
We
feel.
can't see, but we can feel.
So mad.
You feel the huff in the air. But after a certain point, you guys have eaten your food, and Giovanni says, look, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but it is at this point like fairly late in the morning. You should probably
I've
get
been
down
up
there.
for,
You should, well, yes.
Is the circus even open at this hour?
Yes.
Wait, have you never been to the circus early in the morning?
No, I've never. Yes, no.
Oh,
You
you
go at like noon. You
Corna,
spend
you've
the
never
afternoon.
been to a circus.
Yeah, but if you go early in the morning, there's nobody else there. You've got just the run of the place.
Right. But then everybody watches you because you're all alone. Bob.
Rev, that they don't care, right? They're there regardless.
Right. But if you want us to go poking into shit, they're gonna notice that the only 6 people at the circus are poking into shit.
But you can go have fun and enjoy some food beforehand. You don't think I noticed that
Hear
you
that,
don't eat
Azad?
breakfast?
Rev.
It
Let's
made
get
we
some
talk.
rainbow
Look, everybody.
drinks.
Okay, and she just
Yeah,
puts
Rev,
down
don't
her
you want
coffee
your
on the
rainbow
table, and it's just like, I'm saying this once and one time only. Breakfast too early after I get up makes me nauseous. I drink coffee and I eat later. And can we all leave it alone?
I mean, maybe if you started eating more regularly, we could leave it alone. But
I'm fine.
Patchwork, why is this a problem?
Humanoids often value their bodily autonomy, and it seems that the incursion of others on Reverie's bodily autonomy is causing great frustration.
I think we
Patchwork, I
should
love
leave
you.
now.
Okay.
I would like to
Just
go
like
to the carnival
points
now.
at Patchwork. Like, let's go have fun. Because you're right, I want a rainbow drink. You make me want one.
I will tell you guys, at this moment, a very hungover looking Jeffrey comes in, looking for the first time ever.
Fucking dude, right here.
Looks
gotta try get
disheveled. Like, is not in his usual. He's still in his like bathrobe. It's like,
I hand him 3 Oddville.
oh, where were these last night?
I passed them out to everyone. Why
I
didn't you
was
take yours up to your room with you?
Busy talking with Jimmy. Pops them and just chugs, not a mug, but the urn of coffee. Oh.
I'll get another overweight. That's fine.
Can I see that Jeffrey's looking ill? And can I? So I have the medicine hands, the healing hands with my key
You're gonna
point.
slap him across the face.
Sure. Without a doubt. No medicine check necessary. He looks like shit.
Okay. I definitely want to. I want to use my key points in a fashion instead of healing him hit points per se, but kind of just help him with the ailments that he has among him, and kind of touch pressure points on his chest. What I've been asking, just kind of walk up and start hitting pressure points on his chest, doing like a 5-finger death punch kind of thing.
I need you to make. Actually, you're not gonna make anything. You go for the like humanoid pressure points. What you feel is that the reaction you get is not what you expect.
Oh.
You all don't know.
Make an insight check as you do this. Yeah.
Ooh, a dirty 20.
Dirty 20? I think you go to like poke him to like, you know, like like what you would normally do for, you know, like an elf to like get him to be feeling better. And as you do that, one, it's not what you expect, and two, there's just like a momentary flicker across his face. And you see his eyes go from being this like sort of amber color to they like flicker to these like gold reptilian eyes. And you see for just like a moment, and I think this is just you in this moment as you're like kind of there, like sort of face to face with him, you see like golden scales across like his cheekbones as like there's this momentary like sense of relief, even though it's not doing quite what you want. But you see in that moment maybe the transformation or something sort of slips up, and you see just the brief, for the briefest of moments, the visage of a gold dragon before it flickers back as he sort of like catches himself and like pulls himself together for a moment.
I recoil after releasing this key energy and says, forsooth, mine own eyes lied to me.
Master Alistar, please join me for a breath of fresh air.
Jeffrey, we all know.
Oh, come on. Seriously, all of you know?
I mean, we at least 4 of us? I think most of us know at this point.
Know what?
Is there
I did
another
just hear
mystery?
about getting the dragon drunk.
I mean, you walked in and Rev said, "Oh, look, we got the dragon drunk." I think.
Yeah, I did.
I think the jig's kind of up. If there was,
I forgot the boys didn't know. I'm sorry.
I'll be
Well, I
honest,
just thought that was a weird saying. I didn't know.
I thought the boys were drunk. I thought the boys knew.
Oh, well.
You're a dragon?
That's pretty cool.
Yes, Master Corner, I am a dragon.
What? Can I ask what kind?
It's probably easier if I just show you. And he just like lets it drop momentarily. And it's staying sort of like proportionate because he doesn't want to destroy this entire kitchen. You watch as he just drops it down to his shoulders, and you see the like crest and like sort of like ridging of an ancient gold dragon.
Oh,
remarkable.
Wow.
Does that mean you have wings too?
Yes, I do. I do have wings.
Oh my
So how come you
gosh.
don't fly everywhere?
Well, a number of reasons. One, the primary one, is that I don't want to draw too much attention to myself.
Of course.
Master Giovanni and I have been working together for many, many years, and the relationship of dragons and the rest of society is not always a positive one. So consequently, I find that it is much easier for me to work alongside him in this form as he sort of returns fully to his elven form, that I might sort of pass unnoticed and continue to work in a more effective manner to the betterment of society.
Do you know any others? And I give him a look.
You give him a look.
He looks at you and says, I know several others. Vincent here is the newest of my sort of a collection of draconic friends. But to answer, I think, the more specific question, young Corna, yes. Yes, I do. We've known each other for quite some time, in fact.
Really?
Really.
Are you talking about a specific dragon?
Yes and no. And that's
wildly unhelpful.
That is not for me to divulge. Corey,
right.
if you feel inclined, I would say
No.
That's what I thought.
I think we should go to the circus now.
Yeah, let's go to the circus.
would-
You drank all the coffee, so can we stop on the way at the coffee shop and pick
I
up?
think Terry could make some more.
Actually, I made a new one.
Wow, that was so fast. Okay, and she wants to get equal
of butter.
proportion. Stop that! I like it how I like it.
Butter is just extra calories.
I don't
Terry-
care. I like
Terry
it
comes
how
over
I
and-
like it.
Terry comes over and pours a little bit of maple syrup. You should try it. It's actually really good.
She just like puts
Like,
it to the
mixes it up.
side and starts over.
Rev.
I
Terry-
like it. How
Terry picks up the coffee and sips
I
it.
like it.
Oh, it's so good.
We just talked about this. Let's go to the fucking circus.
I actually would very much appreciate this. Is Giovanni sort of like flutters out of the room and is like, "You do your thing. I'll see you when you get back." And
That was Giovanni? Please do that voice again. Just one more time.
Hey, it's me, Giovanni. Hey, get the fuck out of my house!
Go to the fucking circus already, you
For the
moose.
love of everything. Jeffrey's like, actually, my hangover is quite bad, and you are all very loud. I would very much appreciate it if you would get the fuck out.
Of
The odds
course.
are taking a long time to kick in. I think I might also be resistant to it. It's the sugar in the drinks that really gets you the following day. I forgot that. Anyhow,
How many did you have? I don't want to know.
Jeffrey had so many.
So did I, and I'm fine.
Jeffrey drank the entire time that we were
Yeah, that'd be
liberating the Drake. Just so
Truly.
we are
So
clear.
are we walking to the
so
circus?
Yeah.
you guys are sort of heading
Yeah.
out the front door. What is the walking order for all of you as you head out? Like, who's leaving? Who's sort of leading the charge?
Patchwork?
Patchwork?
No, Patrick isn't
No.
leading the charge.
Oh, we're
Patrick slides a little handwritten note into Jeffrey's hand as we leave. So I'm going to say Patrick is trailing the charge.
Okay.
And Jeffrey opens it and says, 2 days hence, when you feel well, the sun is ideal for a cataloging.
You get the
Ooh.
biggest grin from Jeffrey.
Patrick does not see it. Patrick like slid the note and is gone.
Cool.
I don't think Patrick understands how fucking cute they are.
Seriously. Rev is probably at the front of the group because she took her coffee after saying, let's go to the fucking circus, and like stormed out so nobody can fuck with it this time. So she's
Sure.
probably at the front of the group.
I'd probably
Okay.
be like right behind Rev.
Okay.
Al's just behind corner, so wherever corner is, right behind.
I was gonna say I'm like walking side by side with Alistar, probably just like catching up for the morning and
Cool.
like telling them all the things that they saw, but like that I experienced.
Yes.
I'm in the very back. I'm giving Nina a piggyback ride because he doesn't feel
Aw.
like walking.
Oh my gosh, Billy, and are we just like chatting back there, like shooting the
Yeah.
shit?
Hanging out.
Niner's belly is just so distended with all of the like eggs and bacon that he's just like, oh God, carry me. I can't walk. I roll, if anything.
Oh, you're so heavy.
Cool. Rev, as you exit the front door, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
God, fucking! I knew you were gonna do that when you asked what order we were fucking.
You volunteered yourself.
I did, but it made sense narratively. That is a natural 18 on the dice for a 23.
Wow, 23. You stop, you like take a step, and right before you trip, you feel like you like put your foot down and the ground is not what you expect, and you don't topple ass over tea kettle, but you look down and sitting there as you've like stepped on his leg is Wolf, who looks up at you surprised, and then oh boy,
If you
sort of like jumps to his feet and then immediately sees Alistar, and there is a moment of confusion. Like I'll say, without any kind of a roll, you all see this moment of confusion, terror, recognition, and then panic. And he books it without saying anything. Like looks like he was about to like say hi, and then just turns and runs down the street.
Isn't there a gate? But what?
Why? That's Patchwork.
Isn't that what was it? Wait.
Would I
Calling
know?
after him?
Would I know anything, or like would I have like sensed some type of?
Alistar, I would love if you could make me a Constitution saving throw in this moment.
Oh, I'm very constitutedous.
Constitutional.
Oh, but not today. That's a 9.
There is. You feel your body like lock up for a second beyond your control and are taken back maybe a decade to a dark night.
Oh, fuck.
Having broken into a home and using just your strength overwhelmed the parents of a half-orc. And you see the face of a little child laying in their bed look up at you in terror as you grab them, hands still bloodied, and whisk them off to a fate that they didn't ask for. You see that face, now grown up, in the face of the young man that you just saw turn, recognize you, and run. And then you snap back to it. And you're here in the moment again.
Alistar, did you know them?
We have young corner, please. We are to be heading to the carnival. We must head now. Now, come everyone, now. And now, Alistair is kind of pushing the group to head on, being more forceful than he's ever been.
Can we still see Wolf ahead of us?
He like went down and around the corner. You're welcome to give chase if you'd like to.
Yeah, I think Rev is gonna just like look at how panicked Alistar is and whatever the fuck just happened, and be like, but he's Patrick's, and take off after him.
Sure.
30
Mrs.
feet.
Reverie.
You round the corner and he has fully disappeared.
Okay, I'll come back towards the group. Be like, he's gone. What the Alistair? What? Patchwork juggled with him yesterday.
I mean, whatever that was, He'll be at the circus.
Will he? What just happened?
He worked. I don't know, but he works at the circus, doesn't he? At least some clue about him will.
Corey, could you make a history check for me?
That is either a 5 or an 18. I need to remember.
How do you not know?
Those are very different.
It was canted. It was
Cocked?
It was cocked, if you will. That is a natural 19.
Natural 19.
Plus 0, so 19.
Plus 0. Okay. You recognize that face. It's been a while.
Yeah, I had a feeling that I was gonna start like losing my shit a little bit.
You met very briefly. Like you saw each other really.
Yeah, it was
just like a strong term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alistar, why do I remember? And I like just run after, just bolt.
Corner, no, and I run after Corner.
Okay.
Oh my
Wait,
god! I
and
think
I
I'm
go
gonna
after
run
them
after the
too.
two of them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're just all running now. I don't know
I
what's
just
happening.
came
This is
back.
Rev is doing
Fine. Try
I-
not to drop her coffee. God damn it.
I will say this because I'm faster than Corner. I would like to cut him off and stop him from heading to where he's going.
Absolutely, you can absolutely
Step up
do
to win
that.
it.
Yeah.
Wait, who is this? Do we need to find him? Because we can try to find him.
No, I think we need to go to the circus. That was fucking weird.
Yeah, I want some answers.
Let's listen to Mistress Azad. We need to head to the circus. Young
I
Corner.
also think
Are
we
we?
should ask.
You're gonna talk to us on the way though, because if we're gonna walk into the circus and shit like that's gonna happen to you, and did you leave the circus? What's going on?
You worked at the circus?
Did you work at the
No.
circus?
No.
It would explain your clothes, actually.
It would actually.
No, my clothes are dapper. No, that's not the point.
Clothes on top.
Cause thou just give me time to think.
Are we gonna get attacked if we walk in, or are
No.
people gonna run away from us?
No,
It's
Are
safe.
we in danger? Al?
no, we're not.
All right.
Not in danger.
Corey takes
Then I
off
will
towards
just-
the carnival, just like
Add to my
loosey-goosey.
list of questions for later. My God.
So yeah, I think we go to
Alright.
the car.
And we go to the
To
carnival.
the carnival.
You're on a
Yeah.
carnival? Cool.
Yeah.
On that happy and uplifting note. Wonderful. Okay, cool. So I mean it's gonna take you guys a bit to get there. There's a couple different ways you can go. You can go past sort of more of the library, you
Patrick
can
has
go
a
down by the
question.
water. Yes, absolutely.
Patchwork would like to address Billion real quick,
Mm,
if that's okay.
absolutely.
'Cause
You're
Billion
walking. Go for
is
it.
carrying Nur.
Mhm.
Yes.
Patrick says, "Ideal specimen, Billion.
Yes.
We could not help but perceive that Nur is very taxing for you to hold. Would you wish to place Nur upon our head? We can craft our wings to hold Nur for what seems to be a much needed food coma."
Oh, I would say food coma is pretty accurate, but you think you're gonna be able to carry him more easily than me?
We believe so. We will not need to use our arms.
I would like to see that. So I sort of take Neener off my back and I just drop him full weight right on your head.
Amazing. Also, we are not allowed to swear for 5 minutes. Just an FYI.
Hooray! Patrick never swears. Patrick's a sweet little baby.
I also would never swear.
We would never say.
Wonderful.
It immediately makes me want
Did you
to swear.
did you support that badger?
Did I? Should I make a strength check?
Well, what's your strength, Patchwork?
My strength is -1.
Ooh.
I think I would probably be behind spotting at this point if I saw this going on.
Just
And
sort of, like,
I'm
providing-
extra large. Like I count as a larger creature for the purposes of carrying.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would say, Azad, are you offering essentially like the help action? by
Yeah,
spotting?
I'm like spotting like when someone's
Okay.
lifting, just like making sure that.
How
Sure,
big
sure.
is this badger?
Well, currently he's very rotund.
He's very rotund.
Like I would say it's not the immediate weight; it's the like prolonged addition of weight that is gonna get to you. That's what where the help action will come in.
He's also a giant badger, literally.
Yeah. Nina is quite large.
Badger is 3 feet tall.
Nina is almost the same size.
Yeah,
as you.
yeah.
Yeah. Nina is a big old badger.
Nina barely fits on Patrick. It's just like limbs akimbo. Patrick's just like,
if Modrons could breathe heavily, you're doing it. Amazing. So, with the help of Azad spotting, it
I
won't
think
take you guys.
mostly it's just me in the back carrying. like,
Yeah, I think front half is on Patchwork, back half is Azad, like fully
got,
like
2 hands under the
supporting
butt.
him.
It's like,
Yeah, I feel like Nina is just squealing the whole way, like "Hear me off," but I'm just enjoying the show.
Well, this is so undignified, and I'm too full to do anything about it.
You didn't want to walk. This was your decision.
No, I wanted to be carried. I don't know what this is.
Oh, you made your own bed. Now lie in it.
Oh God, lying feels. My stomach hurts. My ass is being held in a way that I'm not entirely comfortable with. You guys make your very undignified way to the circus.
I love
So-
Patrick's very dapper badger hat.
The most dapper, just arms
Dapper
like
badger.
down over you.
Just to like knock an arm out of the
It's-
way.
Oh yeah, for
is
sure.
it
You have
Davy
like
Crockett that has the raccoon tail?
Mhm.
Like,
yes, it is.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's Davy Crockett.
Absolutely, like full Davy Crockett. But like if you like just amped up a caricature to like 13 on a scale of 1 to 10, yeah. You all make your way very slowly. Upon arrival, without any need for perception checks, because there's enough of there are high enough perceptions across the group that you guys can see this. The circus itself, full swing, like nothing has changed, except for that one particular corner where you see there are a number of the city guard in uniform, sort of stationed around. There is sort of this like neon-looking tape that is sort of floating in the air of its own volition.
Oh.
Around the area.
I wish we'd fucking switch over to Pathfinder because I would have had invisibility, and I don't have it because we haven't switched to Pathfinder yet.
Well, dang.
I have invisibility.
Oh,
I was gonna say I think we might want to stealth our way. Sorry, in character.
what I will say before you do that is you guys do remember from the night before. There are at least a couple of folks here on the city who are part of the city guard who know Giovanni and are expecting you.
Oh.
Like you are not an unknown group attempting to just like get into a crime scene. Like he's
I
got
would
some
like-
strings and he pulled those strings for you.
I would like to kind of walk up to each guard individually and say, Giovanni, and see if I get a response. If I don't get a response, I go, great. I walk over to the next one. I go, so Giovanni. In response, great. I go over to the next one. Giovanni.
That's not my name.
Great, okay, that's fine.
No,
Moving
no,
right-
no, 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 no. You are friends with Master Giovanni.
Yes, perfect. I knew I'd figured this out quickly if I just, took the most direct approach.
Well, he did say that you were going to be discreet, but okay, interesting. The woman before you has like long brown hair. Is unlike the rest of them, has some like golden lapel has like a golden lapel and has whatever the fuck the things are on your shoulders. I can't think of the name of. And no, that's quite all right.
Epaulets?
That's the one. Thank you. Yes, with some sick tassels on them. That's a word I do know. We can start swearing again, by the way.
Did you set a timer?
I did. I set a
my
5-minute
Thank
timer.
God, you
Fucking
did.
A,
shit,
Jesus.
shit.
Good
Wait,
work,
wait.
God
Katie
damn
did
it.
say a fuck word back in the 5-minute zone.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. She said,
Katie!
she said
Catherine.
about I'm sorry to be a narc, but I just want to know what happens if we curse.
Patchwork is
honorable.
absolutely a narc.
Patchwork is 100%.
Patrick is a
First
narc.
arc. Yeah.
Patchwork does not intend
So
to.
Gratuitous
apparently
narc.
is Rachel.
Gratuitous narc.
Hey, chat. What's an appropriate punishment? Like disadvantage on her next roll or something?
I can just take a drink.
Oh
No.
There's already a drink water
No.
for that.
Yeah.
I'll drink water.
She says, so Master Giovanni did reach out to me last night and said that I should expect some. Everyone drink water. Expect some company. Are you? You match the description.
Yep. Yes.
Are you
yep.
here to do that? Do you want to do that now?
Ideally, unless you think that there's a better time, in which case I will defer to your expertise on the subject.
Well, no. Also, I suppose I should introduce myself. Captain Laurel, pleasure to meet you. This is... she sort of like looks around for a moment. This, I think, is probably as good a time as any. The official investigation was conducted this morning, but everything is still where it was left. Please, I will escort you all. Come with me, please. Come this way. So you see that she has some authority here, and is able to escort you all over to the tent. Please, I should warn you, it is a little grisly in there. I know that you were involved, but things... Giovanni filled me in on the details. Things have changed slightly since your departure.
Was it the wolves?
Oh no.
That is probably what did that. Yes, it does look...
I had a feeling.
What-
Yep.
Yes.
What did wolves do?
Eat.
Yes,
Yeah.
what wolves do. They helped themselves.
To
Alistar, we left
Alistar.
Alistar tied up.
They
Al,
were
do we have to
they
say
were
it?
very hungry. You can't blame them. For what
Al,
These
they're
were
dead.
people.
Al.
These were people that were keeping them in captivity.
Also, Al, they tried to kill us.
well,
You
Also,
didn't kill
one
them.
of them was sliced in half, and there was a lot of prime meat just sitting on the ground.
Right, I missed that. Who sliced that person into two
None
parts?
of us. It wasn't us.
Somewhere in the distance,
Directly.
you see a large snake and a half ogre just running across a plain, locked
like
in an
wind in
internal
their
battle.
hair.
Yeah, the snake is wearing a wig and has
Yes.
wind just whisking through it. Yes, absolutely.
Long red curly hair.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Legends will be told about this duo. Laurel puts her hand on your shoulder, Alistar, and says, "If you don't want to go in,
no. It's quite all right. I must do what I must do, no matter what may be present itself there.
fair enough. I cannot give you too much time, but I can probably," she looks at a timepiece, "I can probably afford you 10 to 15 minutes of privacy to inspect. Please feel free to look around. I would ask that you not remove anything from the premises. It has all been cataloged, and we would like to ensure that everything remains the way it is. I trust your discretion in this matter. It is an active crime scene and an active investigation after all. Although I guess it's probably worth noting, everyone in there is a known criminal and wanted in some context or another. Several of them actually had bounties on their heads. Unfortunately, they were wanted alive, so I can't afford you any sort of leeway in that.
No.
But for what it's worth, to assuage any concerns you may have, you are not under investigation or suspects in a crime. These are considered vigilante justice, which I don't personally approve of, but you are not in any danger of being arrested for what it is worth.
Corey
I
kind of
wasn't
like
worried about that, and now I am a little bit more worried, honestly. since you've
For
said
what
that.
it's worth, it was self-defense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Corey kind of like wipes his eyes and pulls out his magnifying glass. It'll be a proper investigation. Don't you worry.
And you kind of hear Alistair, even after all the events that happened, he just kind of just says, like, loud enough for you to hear, another sin I have to bear. And he just kind of walks forward after Corna and just heads towards the tent.
Ooh.
Only partially. It was
Serious.
a group effort.
Yeah, it's really
As
not your
he
folls.
follows
Well,
him.
I didn't shoot anyone, but
I need to get this whole group into therapy stat.
You
Probably-
do.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably including myself. Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I would enter the tent. I don't know.
yeah, let's go in the
Yeah.
tent.
Sure.
Yeah.
So as
Rev-
you all enter, oh, is there something you
No.
wanted to do in particular?
No.
Okay. As you all enter, it is ghastly. When you guys had left the previous evening, you had left 2 people tied up but stable, and one person sort of split in 2 vertically. Important.
Cleft,
note.
if you will.
Yes.
Cleft.
Yes.
In twain, as it were.
Yes, I almost used that word, and I was like, I'll just let someone else use that one because it's so good. What you find is the remnants of those 2 tied up, throats torn out, innards no longer present, not even innards being outards, they are simply removed. It looks like not surgically, they are torn open. There is blood and flesh sort of around, bones have been split open. And yeah, are Noards. Yes, indeed. They are
Innards
simply
being
gone.
outwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that you guys have actually had time in here while it is light enough out to sort of look around, and you are no longer in danger and have the time to do so. You notice that there are several trunks in the back. There's actually a set of shelves that were sort of like hard to see in the darkness. There's like some cloth draped over them. Sort of has fallen off partially over the course of the evening. There's, bloody footprints. It looks like one of the wolves sort of stepped on it on their way out, and sort of dragged it down off of the shelving. But you guys have the run of this space. What would you like to do? Would you like to investigate?
What are we looking for again? Clues as to where they were living or staying?
Clues. I think that it was Giovanni asked us for any
Anything
additional
about them.
information we can find, and then he wants us to go check out the living quarters after. So I think it's
Okay.
just purely like investigating the space.
Let's
I think Rev wants to
investigate,
go through
everyone.
the trunks first.
The trunks?
Rev, I think, would spend a ton of time with the trunks. Kind of
Sure.
pulling everything out, reading all of it, digging through all of it.
Cool. We'll start with that. Rev, as you're sort of pulling things out, and Azad, actually, I would love you to make a perception check as Rev is doing this.
Okay, which
Am I making a perception check, or am I
don't know what
making
dice
an
to use. I'm
You're
using-
making an investigation check. Azad, unless you are actively helping, it's perception.
15 plus 8 for 25?
Okay.
Is that how math works?
15 plus 8 would be 23.
23.
Bad.
My
Bad?
job doesn't
Natural
involve
2
math.
plus 6.
Natural 2 plus. Oh god, yeah. I think you maybe are still just like a little bit focused on like the gristle and blood and gore in front of you. Rev, there is a specific, as you're going through all of this stuff, and a lot of it's like mostly junk. There is this like big roll of scrolls that catches your eye, and actually what catches your eye in particular is the seal on one of them on the outside, because as you go to grab it, it almost looks like the seal changes like multiple times.
Okay.
And so
cool.
so as you're holding it and looking at it and sort of like, I think there's this moment of like, well, that's weird, and you sort of
Could
like,
she pop up detect magic?
sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There as you cast detect magic, there's you get a distinct hello raiders.
Hi, Raiders. Thanks for the
Hi.
raid.
Right.
You get two things. One is that the seal itself is enchanted,
Okay.
and two is a strong magical ping from the shelving over on the other side of the tent.
Cool.
The magic that you're getting off of the seal is just illusion magic, and what you see is that as you rotate it, it's a face with the sort of like nondescript features and a crown, but as you like look at it from different angles, the face just changes constantly. So like it's never like fully distinct features, but you can tell sort of you can tell that it's changing constantly.
If Rev, we were told we can't take anything from the room. It's all been cataloged.
Correct.
So Rev is going to pull out her sending stone and take pictures.
Sure.
From the different angles as she rotates the seal.
Okay. Wonderful.
Do the pictures come through different?
They do.
Cool. She's just, so basically as she goes through, every single thing she sees in this trunk, any note, any piece of scrap, she's taking a picture of it so that they have this record for later because they can't take anything with them.
Sure.
I think she would point out that there's something on the shelves. Like, hey, there's somebody check out the whatever, wherever it is on the shelf, top, bottom, middle. But she's going to keep cataloging. She is committed to getting through this trunk.
Can you make a history check for me as you are photographing this? I think that there's a certain point at which it jogs something in your memory, potentially.
17.
17? It takes you back to the first time that you met Azad.
Okay. Hey, Azad, would you come over here?
Yeah?
Do you recognize this by any chance?
Instantly.
Uh-huh. I think Azad just takes and it's a seal that's on a sealed envelope, correct?
It's sort of so there's like a number of scrolls have been sort of like chunked together, essentially, like sort of like tied up.
Yeah. I think Azad breaks the seal.
You gonna break the seal?
It's all been
Rev
cataloged.
Rev,
Okay.
shut up.
You like to follow the rules.
Azad, there's a moment as you like begin to break this seal where you go back to the first time you were at Giovanni's house. It's a tall, handsome man in a corner who sort of smiles playfully at you. You guys like make eyes for a couple of minutes. Eventually he comes over and extends his hand and says, "Oh, hello. I don't think I've seen you around here before. Pleased to meet you. I'm Rex."
Azad, hi. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well. Oh, what brings you to this party?
Oh, I'm from Acadia, and I'm doing my, my trip around the world, sort of thing. It's been very exciting. Giovanni's been wonderful. I'm like a little nervous just because this is my first time, really. I'm talking. I'm sorry.
No.
Who are you? Why are you here? Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's quite all right. It's quite all right. My family is rather well connected in various parts of the continent. I actually, I've been working with Giovanni for a bit now. A bit of a magic user, but more importantly, a businessman.
I don't know a lot about business because everything is so our systems are structured so differently in Acadia, and I've read so much about how things work here, but I've never actually seen it in practice, and I would love to chat to you more about how that works.
Well, I mean, I could tell you about it, but you could also take a trip. I know that you're out and about, sort of experiencing the world. I'd be happy to extend you a little bit of help in getting from place to place if you're interested.
I wouldn't want to impose.
It would only be an imposition if I couldn't join you.
I think that she just blushes, and similarly to how she blushed earlier in the evening, just like chin to forehead, completely bright red.
Walk with me. Let's chat. This could be fun. We could do something. This could be cool.
And she walks with him.
Okay. Smash cut a few years later, and he is in one of his rages. And one of the things that was the most disconcerting about fighting with Rex was that his face would begin to lose its shape. His changeling self would begin to sort of like, when he was that angry, he would sort of lose control over his facial structure, and it would become this more amorphous thing. There was no emotion on it. There's nothing to read. And in a way that was very reflective of the sudden loss of humanity in his interactions with you.
Yeah.
And at this point, he had taken an already successful family business, which he had slightly exaggerated when you first met, but not for lack of intention. He had truly grown it into exactly what he had described.
Yeah.
He was incredibly well connected. He owned half the politicians in various countries in some way or another, whether through funding or favors or blackmail. But that logo of a face that changed and a crown upon it was something that he had always envisioned, because what he did depended on the person, and how you perceived what he did would change based on the things that you needed, and what they supplied would change based on the needs of the people. Which is why, to him, having an amorphous face really served the purpose of what he was looking to do.
Yeah.
And you snap back to the moment and you open the sheaves, and there are drawings.
Do I recognize them?
You don't, but Rev, you do. The topmost piece here is a person with tattoos that you recognize and a scar on their face. And it takes you back in this moment. There's a memory that I think you have repressed for a very, very long time, and it's blurry and feels more like a dream than a memory, but you are taken back to being just like a toddler and being scooped up in the arms of this woman and running your child fingers, your tiny little fingers, along this long, white, smooth scar that goes from temple across her eye and down her cheek to her chin. And that person is, without a shadow of a doubt, here on this page in front of you. Sort of think like Vitruvian Man, like this is an anatomical study.
I know her.
You... How?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't...
This isn't good, Rev.
Yeah. No shit.
Hey, Alistar, what are you doing during this?
Alistar during all this would be trying to get Corna alone. I know we're all within this tent together, but trying to get him go off to the side.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception. It is a 13.
13? Okay, that's high enough. You see, in sort of like, I think as you're trying to like sort of maneuver yourself to get Corey alone for a moment, you kind of you pass by Rev and Azad for a moment, and you just happen to glance down at the paper. And because the two of them are staring at this woman with tattoos, just flat. Yeah, it's just totally flat and open. The two of them just sort of like wide-eyed, looking kind of shell-shocked. There's a brand, like right sort of like upper left chest, just under the clavicle on this woman that you recognize.
Oh, what do I recognize it to be? Like my attention shifts, corner of my eye, and I'm looking at that and kind of stopping my motion to pay more attention.
That's a brand that Mother used to put on her experiments.
That's what I thought.
You know that brand really well.
I immediately move over and just awkwardly, if you're holding it, snap the paper out of my hand, out of your hand, and just like look at it.
Bro, what the fuck?
One moment, and I
We
want to
can
focus
swear
on
now,
that
it's
person.
Alistair, do you know something about this?
Do I recognize the person who is?
Make a
Is it just?
history check.
Oh, okay. Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh,
baby!
Let's peel off that band-aid right quick.
Boy! Ooh.
I don't know if I was ready for this.
Total for 20. I have +0 on history.
Yeah. This was somebody who was taken. It was like one of the older experiments that Mother had.
Older than me, or younger?
They were older than you, or yeah, they've been around since before you. Yeah,
before me.
And at some point, they got away, and you know that was very perturbing to Mother, because a lot of time and a lot of effort had been spent on that person. You remember she was furious for weeks.
Would I know their name?
She didn't have a name.
Oh.
Yeah.
It did have a name, but
Did have a name, but it was just Experiment 22.
No, 22. Yes. Yes, they wouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah. Just given as just a number that was assigned and nothing else.
22.
What?
What?
I throw the paper down on the table desk.
Sorry, you said 22? Is that supposed to mean something?
This is
Alistair, do you know this person?
I look on over at Corna, just like with this look of guilt in my eyes. This is too much. Before with the half walk and now this. What is Giovanni putting us through?
Rev just crosses her arms. You owe us some answers at this point.
I have to agree with Rev, Al. I'm sorry, but this is 2 times in one day.
And I just look over at like just awkwardly just standing there. Now the attention is on me, and I just kind of look over at Corna. Instead of being a parent, I'm like looking for like as like a child looking at a parent for help, and like my entire guard is down.
Solving mysteries, trying
Corey,
to see what I can see.
Corey, are you over at the shelves?
I am.
Cool. Can you make an investigation check for me?
Of course.
Actually, no. I apologize. A perception check.
Does he get an advantage because I pointed out that there's something magical over there?
Yes, for sure.
Advantage, you say?
Mm-hmm.
I will get both of my ice creams ready to go.
Ooh.
Well, I guess a 9 will have to do. Wait, this
no.
is perception, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's actually
Is
an 8.
investigation better?
It would be a 9.
Yeah.
I rolled a 7 with advantage.
Oh, you got an inspiration from
Oh,
Joriel.
there you go.
Oh shit. That elven advantage.
Billion,
Thank you, Joriel.
Thank you, Joriel.
Billion, as this is happening, there is a smell that you recognize
Yeah. Okay.
coming from those shelves. It smells. So when you were growing up in the forest, you were used to like the scent of pine trees and flowers that were blooming and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly before things started to go south and get weird, there was this sweet, sickly scent that you would just catch on the breeze every so often.
Mm-hmm.
And in here in this room, there's a moment where you like, you smell that.
Yeah.
And it does appear to be coming from those shelves. I would love if you could also make a perception check for me.
Sure.
So that's a 14 for me after
14?
some
Cool.
much needed help.
No.
Heck yeah.
That's 17.
17? Cool. So the two of you are standing there and sort of pull aside the fabric, and there are these jars in lines on the wall, and one of them looks like it got kind of like cracked open by a stray crossbow bolt, so like pop the top off a little bit, which is where the scent is emanating from. Corey, you're looking at one of these jars, and it's sort of this this muddy reddish color.
Okay, not a great vibe so far.
Not a great vibe. Can you describe what your patron looks like for a moment? Just their face.
Okay. Striking.
Mm-hmm.
Fierce, reptilian, orange eyes
Mm-hmm.
that almost shine in the light as that reflection kind of ripples across the glass there, and much like earlier today with Vincent,
Mm-hmm.
you see a very similar draconic visage
Mm-hmm.
of these emerald scales and horns.
Mm-hmm. You see that flash, just a glimpse of it. You think in this liquid. Bill, what does your family look like? What do your parents look like?
Well, my mom is bigger than my father, but they're both have this sort of shaggy brown fur, where like mine is really soft and velvety. Theirs is like sort of thick and a little matted at times, at least last time I saw them. And my dad has these like really sharp purple eyes, and my mom has these really sharp, like icy blue eyes. And I always see them standing next to each other, like one and the other one slightly shorter. Yeah. And a sort of severe look on their face perpetually.
How about your siblings?
Well, they all look a little different. They have varying combinations, but all of them are bigger than me by at least several feet, and they're all at least 10 years older than me. So I'm used to looking up at everybody in the family, seeing some variations on their light to dark brown matted fur.
As you look across the top line, you see in one jar, you could swear you see your parents' faces just for a moment, sort of like flit through. And then you look at a couple other jars and you see a couple of your siblings, their faces, in a couple more jars. Just a flash. Patchwork.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you think you're getting out of this unscathed?
Oh no. As soon as I realized it was going down the line, Rachel went, "Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Okay."
Mm-hmm. When was the last time that you saw a reclaimer?
Oh gosh, when was the last time?
Oh, fuck, indeed.
Oh, jeez. Did we say like 9 years ago?
About 7 years.
About 7 years.
Yeah.
Cool. Patchwork knows. Rachel and numbers forgotten.
Patchwork would also know that the previous time and the time before that was about 7 years. Each time. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Perception. 17.
17?
Mhm.
Cool. So you're sort of like taking in all of the things that are happening here. You catch a glint through one of the back, through like the back door of this tent. Off of something large, like 12, maybe 14 feet tall off in the distance, making its way rapidly towards you. Looks a lot like a reclaimer. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
What?
Oh.
You're gonna hear me do that a lot, folks. So just get used to that.
That was a lot. It was heavy.
Wow, there's a lot.
Wasn't
for
ready.
everyone.
Wasn't ready.
I'm not ready either. That was.
What the fuck?
Welcome to the actual campaign!
Yeah!
Trauma, the show.
Oh man, was not ready. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Gosh.
I am literally gonna have to go back and watch this all again tomorrow to make sure I got all of the
I
lore.
know there's a lot of information packed in.
Yeah.
I know. I already know.
Yeah.
I completely missed Alistar's flashback, and I literally have a spot that says "insert memory." Like
Which one?
the first one.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh man, I was
not
prepared. I was like, whoa.
I wasn't either.
I was like, wow, I
I'm just
wonder
like
what's going
messaging Ben,
on.
like Ben, should I be rolling something?
I was like, yeah, do you want to?
I was really like, what's
Oh.
going on with the other four? Like, that's crazy that they're getting their backstories filled out.
Like, hey, what about... Wait, no!
Oh, no.
No, anything but my
Don't
back.
say my name. Don't say my name.
It's more. Oh, yeah, I forgot
Great
about
job,
Wolf.
Ben. Man, that was awesome.
Yeah, Ben.
Ben, thank
And my
Epic beard.
heart rate
You
right
will
now.
have to
Picking us
wait
up like
to find out. Great job tonight, Ben.
Yeah.
Good job
It was
on all of you.
a lot
That
of
was
fun.
wonderful.
I love a session that features a lot of fashion and food and hanging out,
You know?
discovering whether or not a character has nostrils. You love it.
Yeah,
That's what
we
we're
did
here
a
for.
whole hell of nothing until something.
It's
And then a lot of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Katie, you're muted.
Wow.
Fuck. What
It might have been intentional.
what I said was it was all fun and food and jumping on beds and then stab everyone in the heart.
Yeah.
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 I have 7 pages of notes tonight, y'all.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
That's
Like-
a lot of notes.
Okay. because I know it is getting late. It is nearing 11. I know some of us have sleep that needs to happen. Ben and I less so. For those of you who are not me, Ben and Zeki, let's just go top to bottom. Where can we find you? Let's start with Omar, then Alex, Rachel, Ryan.
Awesome. Hi, my name is Omar, aka the Tail Weaver. You can find me on A Tale of D20s at A Tale of D20s, and you can catch everything that we do. We are also a TTRPG company, and we are ramping up our big campaign, Descent to the Void Campaign 2, which a lot of people who are in here will be in as well. So it should be super exciting. So you can catch all that on our socials at A Tale D20s or my personal, That's So Omar.
You can find me on Instagram or on Twitter at @thealexemond, or on my website, thealexemond.com.
Please locate me on the tubes under the handle at I am Rachel Quirky, and especially here on twitch.tv/I am Rachel Quirky. I'm so close to 200 followers.
Do it.
Go over there and
Go
follow
follow
me.
her right the
Make it
fuck
happen.
now.
Do it.
Get it to
Follow
200
them
on
right
Tuesday.
now.
It's all I want. It's not my birthday, but I like asking for things. I am
Go do
Rachel
it.
Quirky. Thank you.
Seriously, go do it.
Yeah,
Rachel and I
you
had
should
a
go do
great
it.
discussion today.
You should.
We have a good time on my
Um,
streams.
I'm here, and that's about it. If you really want to listen to any of my nonsense about ADHD and jobs and frisbee, I am on Twitter at @Randerson. The handle I've been using in chat, just -26. But I'm here.
Cool. All right, and then just general announcements. Tomorrow's an off day. Thursday.
Not at 8, Todd.
Well, not at 8, Todd.
Yeah.
All right, what's happening tomorrow at 8, Todd? Before
Yeah.
I am interviewing worldbuilder.io on some of the really cool like AI type world building that they're kind of generating and creating. So it's going to be a good time doing some world building talk.
Cool.
Fun.
Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Correct me
Yes.
if I'm wrong.
Nope,
We'll be
that's it.
playing Among Us with Balra for a little while, and then popping over to Playotic, I can say the word now, games, to guest for a one shot. And then on Friday, we're going to finish the Opera House, finally, because we couldn't last Friday because of the D&D Beyond outage. And then Sunday is the second part of our Learning Pathfinder stream. So Jason from What Do You Do Pods, plus everyone you see here, so this is a 7 PC game, will be continuing through the beginner box for Pathfinder 2e, which is going to be super fun. I'm looking forward to it. On that note, it looks like April is live, and I do enjoy always giving April a raid. So let's go over there and say hello and send her some love, or
Yeah.
I don't know what their pronouns are.
We've got 5 seconds. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
See you soon.
Oh, we don't have 5 seconds.
Oh, we can read
Oh.
now?
Wait, Rachel,
Make
I want to know what April's pronouns are before we go over there.
Yeah, do
Make
that.
sure you follow and stuff.
Unless you don't know them.
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, then we're just gonna raid.
Don't make any assumptions.